Guys, how's it going? I am attorney Michael Eline, and as you guys know, I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in Texas and California. Hold on, let me make sure I got my comms going here. Give me some 5x5s if you can hear me. What's going on there? Let's OTVO. What's up going on there, Jody Shiloh? Good seeing you. Hey, Ghost Man, good seeing you, man. Good seeing you, brother. So, as you guys know, I've been following the story of Carolina and Fort Worth, and BZ Watchdog's been on the ground trying to figure out what's going on. But for those of you who don't know, Carolina and Fort Worth is a First Amendment auditor. She goes out and she engages in government accountability operations. And sometimes she pops off to the police or whatever. And she has definitely not the best relationship with the local PD out in, I think, Fort Worth. All right. Hey, Group 2FA. Good seeing you. What's going on, Rami? So I'm going to cover what I know, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the law, about res judicata, collateral estoppel, and different issues that will now apply. We got sound? Okay, good. All right. Thanks, Let's OTVO. Good seeing you, man. But I appreciate the YouTube community rallying around her. I think she's a nice lady. She has, everybody has a different style, a different approach, how they want to do what they do when they hold the government accountable. But the idea is with the auditors in general is they're trying to go out there and film the police, see what they're up to try and make sure they don't violate people's rights. And in this particular case, Carolina already had a strained relationship with this Officer Kruger fellow. And we're going to get into what happened and all that. First thing, hey, good seeing you, Jody. Hey, this is a public service. Good seeing you. Yeah, tell me about it, dude. Unbelievable what happened there. I was one of the original, I think I'm the only lawyer who actually covered her story. And for some reason, lawyers tend to shy away from the auditor community. Some people think that if you do get involved, that means you're trying to like make money or something. But I can tell you that I have not made any money off of other than maybe 50 cents now and then, or some super chats from doing a YouTube channel. And I do it because it's a labor of love, because years ago, back in 96, I was pulled out of my car and beat up by a West Covina cop. And of course, charged with resisting arrest, all because I asked him for a copy of his ID. And I was popping off to him because I thought he was a dick. And that's what led me on my journey. I got that criminal charge dismissed. I sued under Title 42, Section 1983, and the rest is history. I ultimately became a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, and I always try to find people who I think are talented, who I think might be able to do the same thing that I could train, almost like I feel like I'm a knight and I want to have like a squire to train. And I've only found a few people out there that would be potentially capable of doing it. One of them is Chili DeCastro. I think he has the ability, he's smart enough. The other one is Lane Myers. I think he's one of those guys that could definitely do it. And the problem is, I just, in this particular community, is you call it a community or whatever, but it seems like most of these First Amendment auditors are just at each other's throats and they're all like jealous of each other. And so it makes it hard. But no, I'm not here on YouTube trying to get rich. Hey, Tiffany, good seeing you. Off of making YouTube videos. I can work on a couple of cases in one day and make more than I've made in the last 6 months off of super chats from YouTube. When you guys give me super chats and super stickers, that basically is what keeps my wife off my butt, because she wants me taking my son to judo class and working on files, because that's how we pay our bills. But because of my connection originally with the sovereign citizen movement and now with the First Amendment auditors, because of what's happened to me and what led me to become a lawyer, I really feel like called to share with you what I know, take it or leave it, especially when it comes to civil procedure and how to handle yourself with police and judges. Because if you don't maintain yourself with civility, what ends up happening is, even if you win your case, right, like your lawsuit, a jury will think you're a jerk if you act like a jerk. and they'll end up not giving you any money. And I want you guys not only to stay out of jail, but when you sue, I want you to be able to collect on a judgment. And without a lawyer, also another problem, guys, if you don't become a lawyer, you lose out on a lot of things. For example, when I help people with their cases, which I haven't done in a while, because most of you auditors are too out of control, and I have to be in charge. I'm sorry, that's the way it's going to be. If you're going to hire me, I'm running the show. So that's just the way it will always be with me, as it would be with you. Hey, look at that, Bill. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that, man. You're awesome. Let me see here. Life under. Are you guys fighting? Don't fight, guys. Yeah, this is a public service. Way too much drama. Like today, I went in on Lane's channel, and I was just telling everybody, hey, share this link so you can donate to Lane. And then of course Direct D comes in, who hates me because I support Chili DeCastro, calls me a fake auditor or a fake lawyer, and immediately within seconds, me and who's the other guy? Kinetic Customs are banned off of Lane's channel, and here I am, somebody who's financially supporting him and trying to break down his cases and standing up for him when a lot of people are putting him down. So that's another issue. You have people that don't see the forest through the trees. But no, I'm not here trying to like get rich or steal anybody's thunder. I'm here to try to help people. That's all I care about. Is I know we have a very short life on this planet, and my father died from Agent Orange because our government lied to us about the Gulf of Tonkin massacre, the Gulf of Tonkin attacks that got us into the Vietnam War. And then ultimately our government used Agent Orange chemicals and defoliants to clear foliage around fire bases. And they told us it was safe and effective, right? Just like they tell us about a lot of other things, safe and effective. And my dad got major cancer from Agent Orange. So I always stand tall for the people, because I know that we're the ones that get sent to the wars. We're the ones who have to pay the consequences. So I stand for you guys, and that's why I do my channel. And I'm sorry that I can't go live every day, but I have court and depositions and a family to feed. But just so you guys know, I don't do this channel because I'm trying to get rich or something. And in fact, I've gotten more bad press, like from the legal community. They think I'm a crackpot because I help people like you. And then people in your so-called community attack me because I supported Chili when he was in jail, and they treat Chili like he's no good and guilty, right? Like guilty until proven innocent. And he was innocent. And I visited him in jail, and nobody else really cared about him. And I would do the same thing for a guy like Direct D if he got thrown in jail, because I don't have really an ego about this stuff. I understand that you guys all have your own issues, but I know that we were all created by the same God. So anyways, just so you guys know that, and then we'll kick off the show in just 1 second. Good seeing you, BZ Watchdog. And let me see here. Yeah, right. Taking us down one at a time, BZ says. Greg. So Life Under and Greg B, guys, don't fight, man. Come on. We're all here because we love our fellow human beings, and we want to help hold the government accountable. That's what it's all about. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights. The Constitution is supposed to bind the government down. You're supposed to be bound by the chains of the Constitution. And we see that the administrative state's not doing that. And then we see this woman, Carolina, she's a senior citizen, nice lady. I have no issues with her at all. I think she's a very kind woman, and she's different. We're all different. God made us all different. And she got body slammed by Officer Kruger, and we're going to talk about that. And then I have the gift that keeps on giving. My buddy over at, hold on, let me just see here. Mr. 5 ID Refusal. I just love this guy. He's the gift that keeps on giving. I have a bunch of cool cop watch videos that we'll share, and I'll talk about the different ways from my perspective as a lawyer, how people handled their, I don't call it a detention. I think you're under arrest. If the police stop you, you're under arrest. You're not being detained. That's just nonsense. That's all these words of art that are being used to violate people's rights, I think, are just terrible. So, all right. So guys, please stop fighting, man. I mean, you're both mods on my channel, and you know my rule. Mods don't time mods out on my channel. And everybody that comes on my channel, I expect you guys to be courteous, considerate, and kind to others. And oh, hi, this is a public service. Yeah, that was a bummer, man. You know, like I'm telling all my members to go and like and subscribe to Lane and make sure to donate to him and his family, because the dude's like a freaking freedom fighter, man. There's not many people like that. And, you know, I'm trying to give him tips like, hey, man, you know, try to be more civil, because if you sue, it's going to be harder for it. The jury may not want to give you as much money as you deserve, because they'll think, you know, hey, this guy's out of control, because that's how jurors think. It's not a put down. I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just telling you, I've got 20 years experience as a lawyer, and I started out as a freedom fighter, one of these guys that, you know, had the British West Indies license plates and following cops around with the big VHS camera and fighting all my tickets and winning, and, you know, being one of the original members of R1 Supreme Court and all that stuff. And then just learning that the only way you can fight the system is from within. I mean, these people that keep trying to fight the system from without, they usually just end up in prison at some point, unless they have a support network. And that's what I've been trying to do, is create parallel systems where we have that kind of support. And just been getting crapped on by everyone left and right, from the legal community as well as the auditor community. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It's like I'm the odd man out or something. But yeah, my background is that I wanted to be a lifer in the Marine Corps. I wanted to be like my dad. I got injured. I got boarded out medically, and I just tried to figure out what the hell I was going to do with my life, and just was always a rebel. And I didn't like the way that police treated people. And so that was the first thing I started getting into. I worked like 12 hours a day in sales, and then I'd go out with my friends and try to hold the police accountable. And that's before we had camera phones and all that, and ended up getting arrested and beat up by a cop. And so the rest, again, is history. But so let's really quick, guys, please stop fighting, guys. Do that somewhere else, because we're all brothers in Christ on my channel. And even if you're not religious, that's just, you know, that's the value system that I grew up with, and that God loves all of us, and we're all unique. And so we all need to treat each other with respect. It's good seeing you, Shock Prof. I love having you back here, and I hope that you got that answer that you were looking for about your particular situation. And if you didn't, you know how to get a hold of me. I get it, Greg, but both you guys are dear to me, and I'd hate to lose either one of you off my channel. Let's try to focus on Carolina and Fort Worth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kick off my show real quick, and then we'll get into it. To another edition of Ask Michael Eline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. That's right. Yeah, so I'm a little bummed out today. Yeah, BZ, I don't really need any help on the show. I'm wiped out. I have a whole, like, just for me to come on today, it was really hard for me. I mean, I am fried. You guys who follow me, you pretty much know all about what I do. I get up about 4 a.m. I try to work out, and sometimes I film it so I can inspire you guys to work out. I think I can do more push-ups than Lane Myers, by the way. I'd love to challenge him to a push-up contest. But I try to teach you guys proper nutrition. Obviously, vitamin D3 and K2 are super important, magnesium. If I was going to say take any of those three are the most important vitamins. And but we'll get into that in another show. Let's talk about Carolina. So here is what the Fort Worth Star-Telegram says. A Fort Worth woman who posts to her YouTube channel video recordings of her encounters with police officers and who in June was directed to move away from an investigation scene and was injured when an officer forcibly arrested her was on Thursday sentenced to 30 days in jail. So she was just sentenced to 30 days in jail, and I'm gonna play next just give me 1 second, guys. Bear with me, guys. I am freaking wiped out. This is like a little 2-minute clip that I found about the investigation, and then I'll explain to you what's going on from a legal perspective.
Isn't this a great idea for community relations to start towing people's cars?
A little after 3 a.m. Sunday, Carolyn Rodriguez was behind the camera, where she is often.
What's going on?
Fort Worth PD says the police officers she was recording were investigating a hit and run in the West 7th Entertainment District, though it's clear Rodriguez thinks they were just towing cars.
How do you know if they paid or not, ladies?
There's no crime scene tape, but the video shows a police officer ask Rodriguez to move across the street.
No, I'm not going to before. There's no investigation. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street. You're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right
Why?
now.
Wait, tell me why first.
You're under arrest. You're not.
No, not under it. Okay, you
Stop resisting.
This is what she looked like Monday on her way back from the hospital with attorney C.J. Grisham.
My elbow was knocked out of socket. My shoulder was knocked out of socket.
Grisham says he aims to file a lawsuit by the end of the day.
I mean, I don't know how you take back the fact that you threw that you body slammed like a sack of potatoes a woman for either one, having a camera, or two, asking why. That is inhuman behavior.
Any other outbursts from the audience, I have to have you removed from the council chamber.
During Tuesday's city council meeting, protesters supporting Rodriguez delayed work for more than 10 minutes. Councilman Chris Nettles has asked his colleagues to delay their scheduled summer break and meet on the incident next week. He wants Fort Worth PD to release all of its video, too. It's unclear what video exists, but in a statement, Fort Worth PD said, "We are committed to accountability and transparency in all operations and will ensure that this investigation is thorough and impartial."
Right.
The community is upset. The community only sees one side. And so that's why it's important. Release the footage.
More than 85,000 people subscribe to Rodriguez's YouTube page, which is filled with videos of her run-ins with law enforcement around the area.
They always start it. They do it to themselves.
Just last week, Tarrant County settled a lawsuit with Rodriguez, who'd argued a sheriff's deputy assaulted her by swatting away her camera in 2022. She secured $6,000.
Nothing that happened prior to Sunday night matters. You have to look at each individual incident.
Police analyst Douglas Deaton tells WFAA he needs to see more video to make judgments about Sunday's incident. But in Plano, he trained police how to deal with people who live stream investigators' work.
I always recommended that people handle this with boldness, with a bold and friendly professionalism, to never fear the camera.
He says police should proactively offer their names and badge numbers and answer questions. But Deaton acknowledged there's no widely accepted best practice for handling so-called First Amendment auditors. In Tarrant County, I'm Matt Houston.
All right, so basically what ended up happening is Grisham, for whatever reason, no longer represents her. She went with someone else. I don't believe that any civil rights lawsuit was ever filed. I do believe that she wants to file one. And so my thought is a lawyer, somebody who understands things better than most of you guys, you never ever threaten to file a lawsuit, because what that's going to do is that's going to put the district attorney or the city attorney, it's going to get their feelers up, and they're going to do everything they can to find a way to get a conviction against you, because now they can argue collateral estoppel and res judicata against you later, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But the next video I'm going to show you is, well, the next video, and then we'll get into BZ Watchdog's video that he filmed. By the way, I see a comment here from BP Slick, which is pretty ridiculous. It says, just don't resist. Don't resist arrest. Well, she didn't resist arrest. She really didn't do anything, from my estimation, that was against the law. And I think that with the proper appellate attorney, she should be able to get this case reversed on appeal. assuming arguendo, her trial counsel made the proper pretrial motions and the proper arguments. If I had handled the case from the very beginning, it would be a case that I would consider handling on appeal. As a general rule, I will not handle a case on appeal unless I handled the case from the very beginning. That's just the way I do it. And I don't know enough about the procedural wranglings that went on, but what I did learn is that it appears as though it was a bifurcated trial where there was a guilt phase and then a sentencing phase, and they were both handled by the jury. And sometimes you'll have a guilt phase and then the sentencing will be handled by a judge, right? And from what I understand from BZ is that there was a mistrial in her case on one of the charges at least, and then ultimately it went through anyways on another one of the charges, but that's neither here nor there. It's kind of irrelevant. What's relevant is the one charge that was so stupid, which was like giving false information or something like that. That was obviously a bullshit charge, should have never been brought. But let's just get into this really quick. Oh, there was a mistrial due to the jury not showing up, says BZ. Yeah, that makes sense if a jury doesn't show up. So let's watch this next video and we'll get into it. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Tell me if you guys you have any sound on this. This is the footage from the actual buildings. So somehow that was obtained. That's her in the far right there. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Hoping you can hear it. But there she is. She's walking over there. Yeah, don't resist after she was unconscious. That's right.
Nanohydroxyapatite. It cleans deeper than anything we've ever used.
Hold on.
It prevents bad breath, helps build strong enamel,
I'm gonna
whitens
try to
teeth.
just
Boca toothpaste is nanohydroxyapatite.
put something else on here so we don't have to watch the stupid cartoon. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let me, okay, here we go. Let's get it back. Sorry about that. All right, so she's over there standing there, and then boom, does a judo throw on her, drops her on her head, and then when she's on her head, well, it doesn't have sound, I guess. That sucks, man. Well, I was hoping I'd get you all some sound. But anyways, he drops her on her head, and he says, stop resisting, stop resisting. She's already knocked unconscious. The two female cops, you could tell, were terrified. They weren't expecting that. And so the backstory is she was filming this. Here we go.
Caroline, we're busy. Go to the other side of the street. You can go.
There's no investigation. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street. You're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right now.
Wait, tell me why first. We're doing it.
You're under arrest. Turn off. Stop.
There was no resisting. It's ridiculous.
Stop resisting.
She was unconscious.
I know. Do you think I wouldn't?
So I'm going to go back to this other, because now they want to play a stupid commercial. Let me let the commercial run out and I'll come back, guys. Jiminy Christmas. This is crazy. All right, here we go. Holy crap. Thank you, Donnell. Thank you, Donnell Brown. Much love.
Nanohydroxyapatite.
All right, so I'll go back over here again and wait for the stupid. Just work with me, guys, because I'm trying to show you some video that we don't have on regular YouTube. And then we'll get into it. Give me a second. All right, so it looks like that was it. So it was report number 24004, and we've already seen this part of the video. So I'll just keep playing it while I talk to you since it's silent. And again, thank you, Donnell Brown, for supporting my channel and Team MPE. That was really kind of you. Anybody who throws me a super chat or a super sticker goes to the front of the line on your comments, of course. Now, in this particular case, she was basically investigating why are the police helping a private parking lot raise revenue. And we know from what my experience has been, there are a lot of law enforcement agencies who have illegally formed alliances with these tow truck companies where they're sharing profits, maybe taking a kickback. And so she's investigating. She's an investigative journalist. And sure enough, this guy does a judo throw on her, says that she's resisting. She's about 90 pounds. Then accuses her of,
You're gonna
hold on a
love
minute, accuses her of resisting arrest when she's knocked out cold with her skull cracked open, bleeding onto the sidewalk. And so what ended up happening is, I think a lot of the reason why they prosecuted this stream so hard is that they want to, because they knew there was a lot of publicity. They knew there were going to be a lot of problems for Carolina and for them from Carolina because of the damage that they did to her. So it was super, super important for the city, county, whatever, to get their convictions. And I believe that was the main thing that happened here. Is it was a big, big deal for them. And so now she has to find a way to get the case reversed, because it's basically going to make a lawsuit, as far as I'm concerned, really not have legs. And I believe she probably suffered a brain injury as a result of this incident. There's just no way you couldn't. There's just no way you could. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys think that she probably suffered a brain injury from this. I'm pretty certain she did. And if she had been my client, I'm just letting you know the difference, guys, especially for you up-and-coming attorneys who want to get involved and help auditors. Number one, you never let your client say anything, ever. You don't even let them give a news story unless you're standing next to them in your suit and tie. You never let them open your mouth, because now everybody in the world, especially the jury, even if they say they didn't see you on the news, if they got an axe to grind, they're going to figure out a way to convict you in a criminal case. So you never, ever, ever let your client talk after they've been in an incident with the police. You never let your client go on TV and threaten to file lawsuits against the police. What you're doing is you're making the police department look bad. You're going to make the city council, the city attorney, and the mayor and everybody put heat on the police departments or the sheriff's department to get a conviction no matter what. So it puts the odds against you. I think it's a real, real problem. And you're right, Bill, it needs to be on the nightly news. That's right. It needs to be on the nightly news for sure. And we can make it get on the nightly news. This is a really big deal, what happened to her. But it's going to take people like me and you getting a hold, like if you have friends in the news media, someone in the newspapers, let me know, and I'll give a statement, and I'll tell them what I think as her non-attorney, just as a Texas lawyer, about what I think about what happened, and somebody who supports the government accountability operations that are going on in Texas as a Texas lawyer. So yes, absolutely. So now the next video, oh my gosh, Steve, man, you guys are so kind. Thank you for supporting my channel. So everybody, give me a bunch of ones for Steve Conkler for supporting Team MPE, and make sure also to like and subscribe to his channel. And by the way, guys, I have my parallel systems directory on the michaeleline.com website. And I've been asking you guys, go to circleoflegaltrust@yahoo.com and send me your business listings. I know that BZ has a friend he needs me to add, but several of you other guys also said that you've been emailing me. I have not gotten any emails. So check the email to make sure you got the right one. All right. Because I want to make sure that I get you guys in the directory. What we need to be doing is creating parallel systems with like-minded people who we like and trust, who believe in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, natural law, and only do business with them. And we need to not do business with the Targets and the BlackRocks and all these people who hate us, who hate our founding fathers, basically like, the Marxists that hate America, the academic industrial complex. We need to shut them out. And that's right. Thanks, Greg. circleoflegaltrust@yahoo.com. A lot of stuff goes to my spam folder. I got my daughter helping me out now as well to try to pick up the slack, because, I can't, I'm doing all this on my own dime. The law firm has nothing to do with this. This is my own personal crusade. Don't think for a second that I have any help doing this. This is you guys basically badgering me to do another show, do another show, do another show. And I get all these emails from people who already have my email asking me. So I keep coming back on. But so far, I've gotten an icy reception from a lot of these auditor guys who they hate me so much because I supported Chili, and I still do, because they don't like him as a person. But the guy's innocent. The guy was innocent. He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, you guys should be rallying around people, not because you like or dislike them as a person, but because the cause is righteous, that they were innocent. Give me a bunch of ones if you believe that. I mean, Jesus was innocent, but a lot of people didn't like him for his personality, but he was still innocent. So that's all I can say. If you're a righteous cause, resistance is mandatory, Let's OTVO says. That's right. Resistance is mandatory. So now we're going to watch BZ Watchdog's part of his video that he did. I'm sorry that it's in the vertical because he's got his in vertical and mine's in vertical. It's really small, but this is about as big as I can get it for you guys. So you'll just have to listen as best you can. Let me see if there's anything I can do to get it on a full screen. Does that look a little better? Oh my gosh, Bill. Bill, you are freaking awesome, dude. Everybody like and subscribe to Bill Roberts. I mean, that is huge right there. That basically covers like a month of judo lessons for my son. And my wife is going to be super stoked because the time that I've been spending on this channel has definitely depleted from the family's resources. So this is really super amazing. Everybody make sure to give Bill a bunch of ones. Thank you, Bill. You're super awesome, man. I'm very, very grateful to you. Thank you very much. So let's watch what's going on, and let's watch BZ Watchdog's excellent reporting. By the way, I'm a little worried for BZ because typically courthouses don't allow recording anywhere inside the courthouse, including the lobby areas, without prior approval of the head judge. But somehow you got away with it. No one stopped you. And I'm not sure about that courthouse's rules. For sure, inside the courtrooms, the head judge will have rules that you're not allowed to record without prior written permission. And I got schooled in the Lane Myers case in Arizona. I think it's 122H. I think that was the rule. It's a Supreme Court rule, ALS or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, Lane would know. But I thought, no way, you can't be recording without prior written permission from the judge. But no, as long as you give notification to the judge in Arizona, the head judge, the presiding judge, written notification, you can bring in an audio recording device. And so that's why Lane was able to get out that really great audio that otherwise we wouldn't have had access to learn about what happened in the Lane Myers case. Really, really cool. Give me a bunch of ones for Lane, guys. The guy is a badass. He's doing stuff that most people don't have the balls to do. And, you got to take your hat off to him. Even though he cusses and swears and does things differently than I would, I'm blown away by the guy. I mean, I just want to support him, but just because he's so brave. And I come from a warrior culture where bravery counts a lot. So give me a bunch of ones for Lane Myers. Let's get into the oh, wait a minute. This is a public service, says it doesn't even need to be written. Wow. Well, look, dude, so far, your team Lane Myers has schooled me quite a bit, and I got 20 years in as a lawyer. And one thing I learned a long time ago, this is a public service, is most lawyers are real egomaniacs, and they'll argue till they're blue in the face to prove that they're right, even when they're totally wrong. And so I make it a point not to do that and to always give you the benefit of the doubt. And that's why I never said this guy's wrong. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I always said, look, I haven't found that information. If you find it, let me know, because I want to verify it, because that's what a good lawyer does, instead of just blowing everyone out. So that's cool. This is a public service. That's really awesome. Hey, what's going on? Good seeing you, Rami. And Tiffany Dagley, I'm sorry you missed me last night. I made my show that I did last night for members only, just because it kind of a sensitive topic. There's like an autistic kid in there, and I just didn't want to keep it live like that. But it's a really really good video, and all my paid members have access to it, and it's really good. I recommend you guys watch it. Thanks, Shock Prof. Yeah, super good. That's the magic of lawyers, Mias Taro, right? So Mias Taro, I don't know if you've emailed me, but please do reach out, because I want to talk to you about helping me with my WordPress site, and in getting my directory built up so I can help all you guys who own your own businesses to try and yeah, well, Mia, so, my son's one of them, so I just don't, it really makes me angry when people treat people like that who simply don't have the control. I mean, it's an ADA court, for crying out loud, like, really going to treat this young man like that? And of course, this judge is like one of these like woke nightmares, in my opinion, with the rainbow flag and the Mexican flag and flair all over, with the butch haircut, and talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And here she is ripping this young kid a new a-hole, trying to make him feel terrible in front of other people. Just, to me, it was atrocious. And not to mention the fact that she didn't appear to be very fair and impartial with all of her political causes. I mean, if a judge was wearing a MAGA hat, he would be dragged out of the court and hung from the nearest tree in that judicial district. So why should she be able to do the opposite for her political end of the spectrum? So that was a problem that I had. So I just made that video for members only. But you guys who are members, feel free to record it yourselves and share it with your friends privately. But it's a pretty good video. By the way, it only costs a couple bucks to become one of my members. And I've got a lot of really cool videos back there that aren't shared with the public. All right, so let's get back into Carolina and Fort Worth. This is her after her conviction, and the jury found her guilty. And I just feel terrible for her. Look at how tiny she is. I mean, she's a sweet lady, and she's just standing up for what she believes in.
He's here. Your paparazzi's here. I'm your only paparazzi. You want to say hi and what you think of the trial? You're live right now, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
See, he knows exactly who this was.
Right on,
I
man.
got 14 people in here right now. I just started my live.
Check her out. I mean, she's got the cowboy boots.
Hey, I saw the two ladies. I got them on camera as I was chasing behind them. I was trying to catch up fast enough, so I go, hey, ladies. They're walking together in uniform. See how famous you are?
By the way, guys, give me a bunch of ones for BZ Watchdog for tracking this case and sharing this excellent video. And, he's got a self-defense products company. I encourage all of you guys to buy as much self-defense products from him as you can. He's going through a lot right now, transitioning with his business and moving on to try to become more of an entrepreneur. And it would mean a lot to me if Team MPE would go and buy. He's got this self-defense spray foam. It's not the actual aerosol, it's the foam, so it won't blow back in your face. And he's got some really cool custom knives, survival knives and things like that. And he sells them for dirt cheap. Just tell him that Michael Eline sent you, and I'm sure he'll give you some kind of a Marine Corps discount or something. He'll hook you guys up if you buy in bulk. But what I'm saying is, don't just buy for yourself. Drop a couple $100, and for Christmas, give out BZ Watchdog self-defense products. Please support my friend BZ. This is really good that he's doing this, and he's not getting paid for this. And I got a lot of love for him. He's a fellow Marine, and I think he's got PTSD, and he's got his support animal, and he's just a cool dude. tapssecurityproducts.com, by the way. Let's keep watching.
Put your belt on. Because we want to ask you some questions before we go up. I know you're not supposed to answer questions, but guess what? I'm not a cop, so that works. Just the press. You want to sit down? Oh, no, you guys. Yeah, you look good. Everybody put a 1 in the comment section if you think she looks good for court today. KS for rights, not nuke war. Jenny, they're all CFW, like hands up, thumbs up. So I kicked myself off for a sec. Way to go there, Mama Lion. It's a pretty fancy building for your tax dollars, Spot. Yep, sure is.
It was a jury trial, brother.
I don't know if I can talk about what happened.
The juror.
No, when they were selecting.
Hang on a second, guys. Let me mute this for a second.
Uh-oh. Police cam. Sergeant and the officers are talking, trying to find a way to violate someone.
I don't know if I should say
Okay,
that. You can say
okay,
that.
guys. I had to mute that mic for a second because that's something that I
You can say that. He's- 'cause he's telling what the-
I would say so, Group
so
2
I can't.
FA.
Yeah, it was 50 people in the room.
Okay. I get where you're going with that. Stupid, but I get where you're going with that. Is Mark supposed to meet you down here? Or? Okay, I know the two girls are up there. Hey, buddy, why don't you get a picture with her real quick? I mean,
Yeah, Jody, and she's a really kind
long-
lady. She's a really kind lady. She was a school teacher, and she just wants to hold the government accountable. That was totally unjustifiable. Totally unjustifiable for Kruger to throw her on the ground like that. I mean, it's just, I just look. I can understand, like a jury might want to convict her on what the judge is instructing, but I mean, whatever happened to jury nullification? For crying out loud! I mean, she's already served her time in hell, getting dropped on the face like that, face planted. Unbelievable.
you got your phone?
I watch her every day, man. I was wondering if I could run into her. I live in Fort Worth, Texas.
So do I. I'm also BZ Watchdog. I'm like following on her coattails.
Nice.
We collaborate a lot. All right, guys, look at this. She's getting, bam, her first photo op over here at the courthouse. Thanks, buddy.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
So, are you nervous?
I'm kind of, no, because I mean, this is not a-
Okay, maybe nervous ain't the word. Anxious.
Yeah,
Did you sleep well?
yeah, I did. Something like that. I thought for sure.
The two ladies are up there, though. So.
Good seeing you. What's the matter, you? You never
Sorry,
get
guys.
notified, dude. What's up?
I saw him on another video. I didn't realize that's what they were chasing up. Yeah. I saw how you looked up and then you kind of like looked away. Did you see the video of that? Just wait till the next one.
Now, my understanding is that she on the first part of the trial where they convicted her, they immediately took her into custody, and I guess she had gotten out between now and the sentencing phase. So this is her probably haggard, exhausted. Put yourself in her mindset, and now she's going for the sentencing phase. That's what I think happened here. I mean, if somebody who's followed or tracked the show can put it in the sidebar, but
Because you might have jurors on this one. Here.
Take the stairs in.
8-4s? Forget that. My calf can't handle that. I think I pulled a calf in my sleep last night. I woke up and it feels like I pulled a Hemi in my calf. So yeah, just be careful what you say because I'm live right now. Because
The elevator's on the other side, but the elevators there.
now just imagine like the adrenaline taste that she has in her throat and the butterflies that she has in her stomach. She's already been body slammed, knocked unconscious, and had her skull busted open. And now she's been convicted of basically resisting arrest. I mean, obviously you saw the footage. There was no resisting there. Ridiculous. Even if she was resisting, the officer clearly exceeded the acceptable use of force. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. And now here she is. I mean, just imagine that feeling. Just think about how she's feeling. Probably can't eat. She's got this terrible, like, metally taste in her throat, like adrenaline thing going on. I mean, think about it, guys. I mean, this is no joke. This is a big deal.
That side of the building, right?
Yeah.
And only it's at the end of the building where only the lawyers can go, only the prosecutors can go. So it's a private elevator.
So the cops all have to come up this way though, because I saw the girls walking through the building.
It's a private elevator.
I was trying to catch them. They walked through the doors and went through the metal detector, like walked past the metal detectors, as I had to stop.
They have elevators also that behind all the benches in courtrooms.
Wait till you see that footage. I'm like, hey, look. I was like, get ready to say, hey, ladies, dude. If I see them walking down, I'm gonna do that. Go take it. I'll meet you. I was gonna say I was gonna meet you up there, but I'll fit it. I'll squeeze in there. I'll squeeze.
Mine is raised a little bit.
I'll squeeze. Turn sideways. Turn sideways.
So let me just take a look here. What's going on? Looks like we're still going. Okay, sorry.
Who's on 2?
Who's on first? Who's on first? Just follow along with me, guys. We're still rolling tape.
Okay. Now I'm
Yeah, we're still rolling tape, guys. Just probably because they're in an elevator, there's probably like some comm issues, but oh, okay. So BZ saying this is before the mistrial. Got it. Okay. Well, either way, she's still going through hell. Oh, it froze due to signal. Okay, gotcha. By the way, guys, we just made hold on. We just made Bill Boberts a standard moderator. Give me a bunch of ones for Bill Boberts making moderator. And I'm trying to find someone else here. Selwyn is also now a moderator. With great power comes great responsibility. I'm asking you guys as moderators, you don't time fellow moderators out, even if you disagree with them. And yeah, so there you go. Welcome aboard, guys. You've earned your keep here. Appreciate having y'all. And means a lot having you guys here with me on the show. Grateful Dabs also. We made 3 new moderators tonight. And it looks like we're timed out. Here we go.
Y'all can take the stairs. I'm not in shape for that. We'll meet you up there though, Kruger. Got some more questions for you.
Right on, Donnell. So BZ's chasing Kruger around, I guess. The officer who body slammed.
Guys, I just ran into Kruger. Ooh. Couldn't have got any better than that. They're just not paying attention, man. Yeah, I've been on these elevators like 3 or 4 times today already, and people just getting off on the wrong floor, getting off on the wrong floor, not paying attention up or down.
Killing me, Bill.
It's not hard. Little red light on top means up. Little red light on the bottom means down. And then there's a little number on the elevator that says your floor. Even
You sound now grateful.
That one's going down. So that one was going up for whoever could have jumped on it. Yeah, it is the live stream right now. This camera right here? What do you mean? This is YouTube.
I was thinking to buy this.
Oh, this right here? This is just something I got off Amazon. This is a body camera. That looks like it's going down. That's going down.
Oh, that sucks. Wait, there's no music, dude. Oh, Donnell. Well, yeah. Well, we have.
What happened to her being first? Get in there. Push her in there. Push her in there.
Hold on a minute.
Man, why are you blocking my camera?
Real quick, guys. Donnell Brown is also now a standard moderator. Give me a bunch of ones. Same speech, Donnell. With great power comes great responsibility. You have the ability to time people out and keep the channel free of scumbags but don't time out fellow moderators, please. That's the only thing I really ask. Be courteous, considerate, and kind to other people. But if they're just here to try to disrupt and be jerks, yeah, use your power. But the main reason I put those wrenches on there, it's so I know who my buddies are, because there are certain people that I really like a lot, like Stomper. And Stomper, you are now a moderator. So, and then power inherent in the people. Once I have you around a little bit longer, I'll go ahead and add you as a mod too. And yeah, I'll definitely come on your show too, brother. If it will help you build your audience and get the word out about government accountability. That's what it's all about. That's what Team MP is all about, is government accountability. Less laws, less government is more freedom. Homeschooling, homesteading, creating parallel systems where we opt out of the Luciferian economic system and we support one another, so we don't have to buy from people who hate us, right? We don't have to do business with people who hate us. That's the idea. That's what Team MPE is all about. Let's keep going.
Cameraman. I was trying to get Wally right there since he stood over there posing. Fire restraint, man. What you guys learned that down in Benbrook yet? I know you just messing. I know you.
Whoa, Roger. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man. That was very nice of you.
I'm just trying to keep my camera off anybody that might be a jerk. So
give some recognition to Roger Lane. He just went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. So those of y'all who want to get access to my back channel, 5 people just became members. By the way, great footage of these donut eaters here from from BZ Watchdog. I'm going to rewind it a little bit because I had to cut in to thank everybody. But here we go. Look at this guy. My goodness. Here we go, guys.
What happened to her being first? Get in there. Push her in there. Push her in there. Man, why are you blocking my camera, man? I was trying to get Wally right there since he stood over there posing. Prior restraint, man. What you guys learned that down in Benbrook yet?
Give me a bunch of ones for Michael J. Quintana, one of my true loyal members. Notice he's got a private first class chevron. He's an actual back channel member, and now he's a moderator. Give me a bunch of ones for Michael J. Quintana. A bunch of people got promotions today. I feel like I'm in judo class at the dojo, and I'm passing out yellow belts to people right now. Congratulations on your promotions. Os.
I know you just messing. I know you. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just trying to keep my camera off anybody that might be a jerk. So trying to follow the rules. Just wish you guys would. I mean, thin blue lines, y'all, the big group. Not the little small increments, the big, large group of the million of you that are in the United States. What is going on with this elevator, man?
Woohoo! Thank you, Power. Power inherent in the people says thanks for being a real leader.
What did it do? Get about halfway and turn back
I don't know
around?
about that. I'm just trying to help you guys, man.
How many people and how
That's
much weight was down here?
But I appreciate it. I really do.
All right. So if you guys are just curious, well, I've got Wally over here. Leave it to Beaver, Wally. It just came to my head. I'm sorry, Wally.
Give me a bunch of ones for Power Inherent.
It's because I might have jurors over.
By the way, make sure to like and subscribe to Power Inherent. He's got a pretty nice channel going on, and I'll be on as a guest pretty soon. We'll figure it out, bro. I'll be on. I really do appreciate you people who are like honestly trying to hold the government accountable and not like just trying to like build a YouTube channel. Like, it makes me proud that I have people that come on my show who really do care about the next generation of this country. You think it's easy for me to come on all the time and do these shows and constantly get harassed by people? It's not, but I'm doing it because there's a few of you guys who I think understand that this is really important to me to try. Less than 3% of the American people participated in the actual fighting in our revolution against England. And so it's the vocal minority that gets it done. So I really do appreciate all you guys a lot.
Over here, and I don't want to get them on camera and break the rules. So Carolina asked me to go down and get her jacket. I ran into good old Kruger down here. Man, they ran when they saw that camera.
That's funny. They ran when they saw that camera.
Let's go. You guys going down? You going down? Yeah, you guys are going down. It's going down? Yeah, it's going down.
Down. Gotta love the tech going down. Yeah. Oh, loving it.
I'll just wait for it to come back up if that's the case. Less people on it. Oh, that was you holding up the elevator. They're going up. Yeah. Jump on that one.
Yeah, that's a big problem. They didn't play the assault in court.
Here.
At
I didn't
least
want you to get separated.
not all of it, right, BZ? Woohoo! Thanks, Joseph Doe. Michael and BZ Watchdog, thanks for covering this. Well, BZ's always at the front, so make sure to like and subscribe to his channel and buy his security products. You know, that's the best way to support him, guys, is support his company. He's got a security company, you know, take care of the guy. He's, you know, like, I'm not here trying to get civil rights cases. I'm not here trying to get criminal defense cases. I do personal injury law. So if you get in a car accident, fine, you can hire me. As long as it's in Texas or California. But I'm not here trying to like drum up business. I'm doing this because it's a labor of love for me. Let's see. It looks like, anyways, get his TAP security products. Video's over. I'm gonna talk to you now, guys, about the law, because this is now part 2. Now, Scrubzilla says he needs a malpractice lawyer. I don't do medical malpractice. I do legal malpractice. I will not touch medical malpractice case with a 10-foot pole. And I'll tell you why in another video. Maybe in one of my morning workouts, I'll talk to you about med mal. Then what's the matter? You, thank you. Who made that awful deal? And what did Caroline get for her side of the deal? Oh, you mean like a bifurcated trial? I'm not sure what exactly went down, but you know, this story's got legs. I just wanted to get into, you know, what happened. So what ended up happening, there was a mistrial. I guess they had some problem because the jury didn't show up. And so there was a deal made to bifurcate the trial where you have the guilt phase and then you have the sentencing phase. And then in this particular case, she came back, or she was put into custody and then brought before the jury for the sentencing phase. And they hit her with 30 days jail. Now, if it was me, if I was the judge, I would have said, I would have said, I don't care what the verdict is, like judgment notwithstanding the verdict in favor of the defense. And I would have thrown it out, or I would have at least given her time served based upon her getting body slammed and brain damaged and just ruined. You know, that's how I would have done it as a judge. I mean, where the hell is justice? I mean, this woman didn't do anything wrong. She should not have even been charged. And I believe that if she had gone under the radar, she probably wouldn't have been. That's my opinion. But unfortunately, oh my goodness, Stomper, thank you, bro. Again, guys, Stomper is one of my newest moderators, and Stomper's super cool, by the way. So remember, Stomper, don't be timing out fellow mods. That's a no-no on Team MPE. We're all brothers and sisters here. But I appreciate it, Stomper. You guys are awesome. You guys made my month. You know, my wife is going to be thrilled. Like, you have no idea. It's a team effort, guys. Give me a bunch of ones for my wife for letting me do these shows instead of being at judo class with my son right now. And, you know, sometimes when I don't go live, it's because I go to judo because I want to see my son progress. But he's almost in line for his green belt now. You know, he got his yellow, and he's doing really good. His class is like, I think, almost all black belts and a brown belt. And I think there's one white belt. And it's just really cool that my son is training with like judokas, like masters. And so for me, the main difference, because I also was a big BJJ guy for a long time, is judo teaches you the traditional Japanese culture and the ideals of respect and honor, discipline, self-discipline. So it's the full package, right? And it also has standing. And with BJJ, it's like you get on your butt, and it's like that's not a realistic fight. In a real fight, you're going to stand, maybe throw one or two punches, grab each other, and you're on the ground. But in judo, you get so good at torque and you get so balanced that you can just throw your opponent. And when you throw somebody onto concrete, they're not getting back up. So to me, it's a better art for a real street fight. And also because your opponent will almost always have clothing, you can get in and you can grab their lapel, you can grab their shirt, and you can use your torque and just drop them. And, for you smaller people and you women especially, it's really helpful because you're using torque and inertia, and you're learning how to understand your fulcrum. And as a lawyer, that's how I take that same philosophy into court. So I'm really happy for my son that he's learning the philosophy the way that I learned. And by the way, before we get into the next part of the show, Aikido's cool, Bill Bowbirds, but if you watch some videos of judo or boxers going up against Aikido guys, they always clobber them. To me, it's not a complete art as much as judo is, but watch the videos and you'll see what I mean. But Aikido, as far as the discipline and the honor and that Japanese samurai code, absolutely. And that's it's not just about being a badass and beating people up. That's why I agree with you guys, because it's a full system. You want to be, if you're going to be in martial arts, you want to get that from a young age. You want to learn that discipline, that system of discipline and honoring your elders, and teaching your kids that. It becomes a family affair where you pass it on to your family. It's super cool. So anyways, let me see. I want to make sure I hit that like and subscribe button. And guys, look, I know I'm not super high energy tonight. I'm fried, and I kind of feel bad, about what happened to Carolina. But so I went on Grok, and here's what I found. Check it out. The trial involving Carolina and Fort Worth, Caroline Rodriguez, against Officer Matthew Kruger, has garnered significant attention, particularly due to the nature of the incident and the broader implications for First Amendment rights and police conduct. Here is the latest information. This is from Grok. I mean, this is pretty cool, dude. And Grok is Elon Musk's version of ChatGPT, right? Incident overview. Caroline Rodriguez, known for her YouTube channel, CFW Carolina in Fort Worth, was allegedly assaulted by Officer Matthew Kruger while she was filming police activity in Fort Worth, Texas. The incident involved Rodriguez being knocked unconscious and sustaining injuries such as a dislocated shoulder and elbow, facial lacerations, and possible head trauma. Come on, your head was broken open. Give me a break. After being told to move across the street by the officer, Rodriguez was filming the police during a vehicle towing operation, questioning why were the cars being towed when the altercation occurred. And then ultimately, here's what it says. Rodriguez intends to sue Kruger for the assault, which was captured on her live stream. She was charged for failing to comply with his orders, but the focus has primarily been on the excessive force by Kruger. Yeah, well, it should be. That's all it should be about. I mean, the case should be thrown out. If I was that judge, I would throw the verdict out. Judgment notwithstanding the verdict. Oh, it's done. You're done. You're out. Ridiculous. Particularly in recording police activities. Officer Kruger has been noted for previous incidents of aggressive behavior, with his employment history showing that he worked for the Fort Worth police from 2018 to 2020. There's public outcry and demands for his removal or prosecution following this incident, with some reports indicating he was fired for the event after Rodriguez. There have been public demonstrations and disruptions in the Fort Worth City Council, right? And supporters of Rodriguez calling for transparency, accountability, and the release of the body camera footage. A Fort Worth City Council member, Chris Nettles, pushed for a special meeting to address the incident, indicating the severity of the public and political concern over the matter. And then, of course, it doesn't talk about the trial other than that there's a trial scheduled and that it's in its preparatory stages. Now we know that the trial's over, and that's what happened. So it's done. And so, yeah. And by the way, guys, go to BZ Watchdog's channel, and he's got more video. And I'll try to set something up for this weekend where I have BZ on and we do a blow by blow. But I don't have time to have a guest on right now because I wanted to get into the legal implications. And then also, I'm just like too fried to even consider having my own sidekick on right now. But so this is how it goes, guys. In a criminal case, and this is why I believe they push so hard to get the conviction. I believe that she pushed so hard, pushing the narrative that she's going to sue, that the city attorney and the prosecutors had to get that conviction, come hell or high water. And that's why, as a good lawyer, you always counsel your client to shut the F up. You're sitting on top of a gold mine right now. Stop it. Go home, hide yourself indoors, and don't say a word. That's just me. And that's what I would do. And if my client wouldn't agree to do that, then I would immediately withdraw from representation. And it's not really so much about the money for me. Why I would withdraw, it would just be that you're not allowing me to be the attorney that I am. And when you hire me because I'm better than you and I know what I'm doing. And I'm not going to be directed by someone who has skin in the game or has made it their own personal crusade. And so people who hire me know that. But again, the cases that I take aren't cases like that as a general rule. I mean, I would as a favor if the client would do what I told them to do, for sure. But if they're going to try to boss me around and tell me what to do, no chance. But yeah, I just do like big motorcycle accident cases and stuff like that. I represent the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club, and I help them with their motorcycle wrecks, and they support the Paul E. Lyon Bride, which is a foundation I set up for my father, where we do motorcycle rides for military vets who got service-related cancer. And I help those dudes, and they send me cases. And, I do some slips and falls and little things like that, but primarily car accidents and motorcycle accidents. So don't think that I'm coming on here to try to get your case. It's not what I'm trying to do. All right. I'm trying to expose corruption, and I'm doing it on my own dime. And sometimes I get lucky and somebody donates some money to my channel or buys a copy of my book. By the way, here, let me do some shameless self-promotion. If you'd like to learn about my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, you can pick up a digital version of my ebook. It's $19.99, and you can get it by going to my YouTube homepage and clicking on more, and then scrolling down, and you can go to PayPal and you can pick up a copy of this book. And I talk about the different states that have law office study programs, including California, which is where I got licensed, and how I did it, and the different requirements. Like, you have to have the equivalent of an AA, but you can get that by taking the CLEP, which is the college level equivalency program, I think is what it's called. And then you have to take the baby bar, which was like less than a 10% pass, I think, when I took it. It might be 17 or 10, but it's almost impossible. If you can pass the baby bar, you have no problem passing the real bar exam in 3 years from that date. And the Bruce Jenner girl with the big boobs, the one that tries to get people out of jail, went to the Diddy parties. I keep forgetting her name, but she passed the baby bar after her third attempt. Somebody in the sidebar helped me out in the chat. You know what I'm talking about? She with the transvestite dad. Man, I can't even remember her name, but yeah, Kardashian. Yeah, thanks, Joseph. Kim Kardashian passed the baby bar after the third attempt. And in my book, I talk about, how I studied and how I did it. And that's another great way to support my channel. It took me about 2 years to write it. It was, and so I sell it for $19.99, but it's digital. It's not a softcover book. So there's no shipping, no handling. You just watch it on your phone or whatever. Now, so let's get into the civil case and why I think they push so hard. Oh, right on, dude. Man. Let's OTVO just donated $49.99. Guys, give me a bunch of ones for Let's, because I know that Let's is not rich. All right. I think he's a retired Navy vet. So that means a lot to me, dude, that you're supporting me. And I don't know if she's going to be home. My understanding is that she's got a 30-day sentencing, if they give her good behavior, which I don't even know, that's why I want to have another show with BZ where we actually do our research, where we try to figure out if there's a way to get an early out. But I hope she is, dude. I don't think she should be in there. I think she's already suffered enough. And she's got her own personal problems, like we all do. And she's just doing what she thinks is right. And I feel terrible about what happened to her. But give me a bunch of ones for Let's OTVO. Make sure to like and subscribe to him as well as Brick Jonesy. They've got a pretty cool up and coming channel where they're doing their own government accountability operations. And I just appreciate everything that you guys are all trying to do. Do it best as you can. But please listen to me when I tell you guys, try to be courteous, considerate, and kind, because it's going to come back later to help you when you actually, if you do get arrested, where the jury is going to be favorable to you. If you come off like you're aggressive and rebellious, even though you might win your case, the jury may just give you like $1, right? And you want to get compensated. You remember, juries are political animals. They're not like us. Most of them don't think like us. And you have to understand that if you think you're going to sue and get all this money, then you better do the things that I tell you have to do, or you're not going to be able to be successful. Look what happened to Chile, man. He got locked up for 4 months on a false charge, and we all supported him. And I was able to raise money to help with his legal defense fund. But I mean, an appellate attorney for Carolina's case, you're talking 25, 30 grand for a decent one. And you don't even know if they're going to win. And here she is sitting in jail. By the time that appeal even gets heard, unless it's like an emergency appeal or something, she'll already be out of jail. So think about that. I mean, this is some serious stuff. This is like no joke, guys. Like come to my seminar, as Tom Vu would say. Like, listen to the things that I'm telling you. I'm not telling you these things because I'm trying to get like brownie points or trying to like prove that I'm superior. I'm telling you this because I've been practicing law for 20 years and I know how juries are. I know how fickle judges can be. And I'm trying to help you guys. You can sit here and attack me and tell me this and that, government this, government that, but you're in a system right now. And if you don't work within the parameters of what the system is, you're going to lose every time. And even if you win, you can get locked up, and life is miserable in jail. If any of you who have been in jail, you don't have to identify yourselves, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, even 2 or 3 days in jail, you can lose your job. You could lose your apartment. Literally, you're late 3 days, you're getting an eviction notice. It's a big deal, guys. This is no joke. This is not for the faint of heart. That's why I say we need to create parallel systems. Like when I heard that BZ had gotten arrested, we have a notification system. So I was immediately reaching out to everybody that I knew in Team MPE to find out where his dog was. Where's his dog? That's all I cared about. Where is his dog? Because that's the most important thing in the world to BZ is his dog. And we know that you could have some jackboot thug cop who wants to put that dog in a shelter so it gets euthanized right away, right? Like, you just don't know the kind of people that are out there that are gunning for you guys. So create parallel systems and look after one another. Okay, so let's get into it now. If Carolina loses her criminal case, which it looks like she did, will she be barred from suing by res judicata for things like battery, excessive force, or civil rights violations? This is what I wanted to get down to with you guys. The application of res judicata to her potential civil lawsuit, it definitely could apply. And so I'm going to explain to you what that is. So res judicata generally applies when there has been a final judgment on the merits in a previous case. If the criminal case was dismissed on technical grounds without addressing the substantive issues, it wouldn't apply, typically. But in this case, it was decided on the merits. There was no acquittal. Now, what you want is you want to get that acquittal because what they see, because there's a higher standard in a criminal case. All right. In a criminal case, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. In a civil case, it's preponderance of the evidence. So if there's a scale, beyond a reasonable doubt's like this, right? You got to have this much evidence. Like, you really have to have a lot of evidence to get that conviction. In a civil case, preponderance of the evidence, just a little bit more like that. You guys follow me? You understand the difference? Preponderance of the evidence, civil case. Criminal case, beyond a reasonable doubt. Pretend like this is a scale. You got me? Preponderance, beyond a reasonable doubt. All right. So you're getting thousands of dollars worth of legal information from a guy with 20 years experience as a lawyer. All right. So with res judicata, if something like resisting arrest had been decided, right, that was a lawful or a valid arrest, for example, if there was a finding on the record, well, that evidence is greater than the preponderance of the evidence standard. So res judicata may apply to bar her from bringing that battery claim for excessive force. Are you following me? Like there's already been a finding that she resisted, and there was no finding of excessive force, because if there was excessive force, there could be extenuating circumstances to get the case dropped. So there's a lot of things that come into play here, depending on the jurisdiction that you're in. Now, for res judicata to bar a civil lawsuit, there must be an identity of claims and parties. So, whether or not there was an identity, like whether or not that applies, it's up and down, but it could. In civil rights cases, the individual sues, and then but a conviction or an acquittal doesn't automatically preclude civil actions for different causes unless the civil claims were or could have been litigated in the criminal action. And I'm just telling you guys, as a matter of course, that evidence is coming in. All that evidence in the criminal trial is coming into the civil case. Good luck. Good luck. Even OJ, like, he won his criminal case and he lost the civil one because it has a lower evidentiary standard. Is that making sense? So in his case, it was like judo. It was reversed. It was reversed for OJ. So now, battery and excessive force. These are torts that could be considered separate from the criminal charges. So that is true, unless they were explicitly decided in the criminal trial. So I don't know enough about the record yet to know if that's going to come into play. All right, guys? I'm just saying this could apply. All right? It could apply. I'm not telling you this is definitely going to apply. That's not how I roll. There's always wiggle room in law, just like there is in relationships and in the world. There's no, when you got these dogmatic people who think they know everything, I don't even want them to be part of Team MPE, because that's just not reality. There's always wiggle room. But the doctrine of res judicata would not necessarily bar these claims unless they were part of the criminal litigation. The U.S. Supreme Court has expanded the ability to sue police for excessive force, indicating civil rights cases can proceed independently of civil outcomes. All right, that is true. That is true. But guys, jurors will be able to hear evidence about the criminal case, and they're going to be thinking, well, even if you have good motions in limine and the judge issues limiting instructions, jurors are now tainted by the fact that there was, and there could be collateral estoppel arguments, which we'll get into in a minute. So there are exceptions to res judicata, where res judicata might not apply, where there was new evidence that came to light, or there's a continuing wrong that was not fully adjudicated in the criminal case. And in this case, I would argue that there is a continuing wrong, that this officer is still out on the street and he clearly exceeded the necessary and proper use of force given an objective police officer in the same or similar circumstances. It's just going to be a lot harder now to convince a jury, because now there's taint. If she had won that criminal case, they would have settled out of court. I guarantee you they would have settled. If she would have won the criminal case, the city would have settled, because beyond the law, there's political issues here, right? And what's his name? Kruger would be off the force yesterday. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that if she would have won the criminal case, Kruger would have been fired the next day. Basically, by the jury doing this, they guaranteed that this asshole is going to be out on the street doing the same thing to other people, all right? Mark my words, that's what's going to happen. Mark my words. Mark my words, that's what's going to happen. Absolutely disgusting. Now, Copser 5150 asks, why was part of the video suppressed? Well, in my next show that I'll do, I'll have BZ come on and we'll talk about all that. But I'm glad at least I'm building a laundry list of questions that we can get into. All right, so So again, res judicata could apply if she tried to bring a civil rights lawsuit now or a personal injury claim. It could apply, which basically what the standard is it basically here, I'll put it in the sidebar so you guys can read it. But it basically prevents parties from relitigating the same claims after a final judgment has been made. And so if the criminal case was decided on the merits, res judicata could bar a subsequent civil action, like I said. But this is less common because civil rights claims often involve different legal theories and remedies than the criminal charges. So just so you guys know, it's more, for me, it's more like the nuanced politics of it all. That's what's coming in my mind as a lawyer, knowing that the jury, their family, even though they say they don't know about the case, trust me, they know. I don't believe anything anybody says, to be honest. Now, collateral estoppel, and I'll put it in the sidebar so you can read along. Sorry, guys, I'm running out of steam here. Collateral estoppel prevents relitigation of issues actually litigated and necessarily decided in a prior action if the issue was essential to the judgment. So if a specific factual issue was decided against the defendant in a criminal case, whether the force was reasonable, and that could have been a jury instruction, and that's what I don't know about yet. All right. So that's what I want to find out about, guys. I'd like to get a copy. If any of you guys can help me out to do a really good analysis, I'd like to get a copy of the jury instructions, any motions in limine or limiting instructions. I'd also like to know if the jury was polled afterwards. Typically, after a jury renders the verdict, often the judge will give you permission as the party, as the lawyer, to poll the jury, to ask them, number one, which one of you ruled against or for, and I think it's a unanimous though in a criminal case, but sometimes it's not. So you poll them, and you find out, and you can ask them, like for example, in the guy that had the fake $20 counterfeit bills, the drugged out dude who was off, the cop who stepped on the guy's throat or whatever, George Floyd. In that case, the jury was polled afterwards, and they were asked, did the officer stepping on George Floyd's neck area or whatever, is that what killed him? And unanimously, the jurors said, no, we found that he murdered him because we didn't think that's what killed him. We found him guilty of murder because he knew the guy was drug overdosing and he didn't get him to the hospital in time. So that's how they ruled. But the news media didn't report that. But that's just an example of a jury poll. You poll the jury afterwards to find out what they said. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean the jury poll questions could be admitted into evidence because they're not under oath when they're being polled. Okay, just so you guys know, but that's called polling the jury. I just want you guys to know what that is. It's really a really powerful thing you can do. And maybe somebody can share that with Lane Myers. He may not know about that. He's pretty smart, but I've been doing this for a long time. And if he ever gets a jury trial, he might want to poll them afterwards to find out how they ruled, right? Since DirectD had me banned from his channel, you guys can share this information with him. So if a specific factual issue was decided against the defendant in a criminal case, like whether the force used was reasonable, those findings might preclude relitigating those facts in a civil rights lawsuit. Following me? And so that's collateral estoppel. So tonight we learned about collateral estoppel and res judicata. And I'm hoping that you guys understand it a little better now. And the case law, it's called Heck versus Humphreys. Heck v. Humphreys. Here, let me drop it for you. And it's the Heck v. Humphreys doctrine. And it's really cool that you guys are here trying to learn stuff. I appreciate, you learn more by teaching. Honestly, I'm going back over all this material from like years ago, and it's just like bringing back so many memories. So this is really cool. Yeah, that's right. Mia Taro, she's right. Yeah, it just means to stop damages, collateral estoppel. That's right. It just stops it. Oh, Brandy. Oh my gosh, Brandy, good seeing you, honey. I'm so glad you're here. She says I'll have to go back when I can concentrate. Well, you can always watch the videos later too. But yeah, this doctrine states that if a judgment in favor of the plaintiff in a civil rights action would necessarily imply, and it's not just civil rights, but just check out Heck v. Humphreys. Unless the conviction or sentence has already been reversed on direct appeal, expunged by executive order, declared invalid by a state tribunal authorized to make such a determination, or called into question by the federal court's issuance of a writ of habeas corpus, the plaintiff could be barred from bringing such a claim, right? From bringing a civil rights claim. So the Heck v. Humphreys doctrine is something I want you guys all to look at. I just don't want you guys to go out there thinking you're just going to win all this money because a cop violates your rights. That's not how it works, guys. And if you get convicted, you're screwed. There's so many things that are now going to be at play, like maybe res judicata, maybe collateral estoppel, the politics of the jurors themselves, just not liking you because you came off like an a-hole in your video and you looked like you were a jerk. Even if they find not guilty, they'll still think this guy's a jerk. I'm just going to give him $1 at your civil trial, right? They find you not guilty in your criminal trial. The civil jury may just say, I'm just going to award him $1 because I don't like this person. I don't like their attitude. So you got to think about that. Like the 6 degrees of separation, people on that jury may have a brother or a sister-in-law who's a cop, right? Automatically, they're not going to like you. You need to think about that. So, because I want you all to win. And I don't want you to just win and not get anything for your troubles either, right? So the Heck v. Humphreys doctrine will directly impact civil rights claims where the success of the claim would undermine the validity of a criminal conviction, particularly claims like false arrest, right? Because how could she be convicted if it was a false arrest? Is this making sense? So clearly it wasn't a false arrest. That's the argument, all right? So, or malicious prosecution, right? If the person was convicted, they generally can't bring a civil action unless their conviction is overturned or expunged, right? All right. Now, double jeopardy. While not directly barring civil claims, the principle of double jeopardy in criminal law could prevent a person from being tried twice for the same offense. I don't know how that would apply here. Kruger might try to argue, well, hey, I was already vindicated by the facts, so why are you suing me? But there's all kinds of arguments they can make. And if you're not a guy like Lane Myers who can dig through Westlaw and pull things out of there faster than a Cray computer, you're not going to have a chance. How are you going to win? I've seen this guy literally go through Westlaw and just my head spinning, what the hell? My God. By the way, guys, make sure to donate to his channel. By the way, he's got if you go to Google or you go to my community page, I've got a link to donate to his cause. I'm all in for the guy, man. I've already donated money. I want him to win. Once you put money into something, you're all in, right, guys? Like you're gambling, you're all in. So I hope you guys support the guy. I understand sometimes you get surrounded by people who care more about themselves than you, and you might be relying on wrong information, but I don't really care. I want you to support the guy. So anyways, that's pretty much that. I don't want to bore you guys with any more. Now I will try to arrange. Now we're going to get into some cop watch videos, so you guys can stick around and have some fun with me, because I promised my buddy over at Mr. 5 ID Refusal, I would give some of his videos a shout out and do some cop watching analysis. But let me just look in the chat box and see if there's any questions that I can answer. Yeah, that's right, Paul Walker. Support the guy. I don't have anything against the guy. I understand. I don't like Direct D. I think the guy's a piece of shit. I saw a video with, I think it was Denver Metro Audits, where allegedly Direct D was back there flashing a light at the cops. And I think it was Denver Metro, and he had to take the hit because Direct D wouldn't come forward and stand tall for his buddy and admit that it was him. So the driver of the car, I think it was Denver Metro Audits, took the hit. And I don't like being prejudged. Some dude some asshole saying, "Oh, this guy's a fake lawyer. This guy knows nothing about me. He doesn't like me because I support Chile de Castro." So yeah, other than that, we're all good. Yeah, right on, Grateful Dabs. I can't stand the guy. I think he's a total punk. He's one of these guys that you just love to meet in a dark alley. You know what I mean? Like somebody who just talks out, talks out of his ass, doesn't even know who you are, and wants to try to talk down to you to make himself feel better about himself. I don't like people like that. I don't have any skin in the game here. I'm not trying to get rich off of a YouTube channel or any of the things that he says about me. I just care about people, and I want to make sure that if you guys go to court or you have trouble, that you do it right and you stay out of trouble. Because if you go in there and you're not Elaine Myers, you're not, good luck. I mean, that guy is an anomaly. He is the top of the food chain when it comes to being a critical skills thinker. Like, to me, if I was going to classify him, because being a Marine and everything, I would put him in the Force Reconnaissance, Marine Special Operations category when it comes to legal thinking. And I don't really care about his cussing and swearing and all that, because he's not a lawyer, and he doesn't have to abide by the same standards that I do as an officer of the court. So in a way, I'm kind of jealous of him, because he gets to do stuff that I wish that I could do, stuff that I used to do. But those are all the old days. I'm getting old now. Good seeing you, BZ. So BZ, I'm gonna break down the whatchamacallits, the Mr. 5 ID refusal videos now, but I promised the audience that you and I, BZ, would go through Carolina's trial maybe this weekend and break it down blow by blow. And one of the things that I'm going to need, brother, is I'd like to get, if there was a jury poll, I'd like to get that. I'd like to get any of, written statements from the jury. I'd like to get the jury instructions, copy of the jury instructions, any motions in limine, limiting instructions that were given to the jury, all that kind of stuff, so we can do a really good breakdown. And also, if you sat in on the trial, if anybody who was there who sat in on the trial, not just you, let's have them come also as guests, and we'll break it down blow by blow. And honestly, this is a case where, I'm thinking like maybe we go to the governor and ask for clemency. I mean, she's already served her time in hell. She got her head basically broken open on the cement, and she's a good woman. She didn't do anything wrong. She certainly didn't do anything to the degree that I've ever seen that would warrant his response. I mean, he brutalized her. You do not put your hand on a woman. That's just not how I roll. You don't put your hand on a girl. You don't do it. You're a man. God made you stronger for a reason, to protect her and provide for her, not to batter her and drop her head on the ground. Yeah. And BZ says that a complaint was lodged. Police accountability special operation underway. Good job, bro. By the way, guys, I'm really serious about this. Please support BZ's channel and buy his self-defense products and donate money to him above any other channel out there right now, because he's the only guy I know who knows how to do public records requests. So look, as a lawyer, I paid guys thousands of dollars to do public records requests, and BZ Watchdog does a better job than those guys. And he does it out of his own pocket to bring these videos to you and to bring police records of arrest and all that. So I really think that you should support the guy, and Let's OTVO. Hey, Kevin Brynarski, love you, brother. I love it. Hey, was I right, Kevin? I got you right? Polish. I said Polish or Russian. So I nailed it, man. But we all know you're just a God-fearing American. That's what matters. I'm Swedish, Norwegian, German, a little bit of Scottish, but I'm a God-fearing American. I'm John Wayne. That's me. I'm John Wayne, man. I'm all about making America a better place, making America great again. And Tiffany Dagley knows what's up, and Jody Shiloh and Mia's Tarot. Since I started my show, I started out with like 90% male audience, but more and more the females are warming up to me because I think they recognize that I stand tall, and not in a chauvinistic way, but in a way that is honorable, honoring them as God's creations of being the givers of life. And without them, without a good mother, especially, we're really nothing. And so give me a bunch of ones for all the team MPE girls. All right. So, and again, thank you guys. And thanks, Grateful Debs, for supporting BZ. He's a good friend of mine. He's a Marine. And as a Marine, we're a band of brothers and we always look after each other. That's what we do. You join the Army, you join the Navy, you join the Air Force, you join the Space Force, you join the Coast Guard, but you become a United States Marine. And it's real. It's a true brotherhood. And so, definitely I'm always going to support my Marines. And we have a system of honor unlike any other that you'll find in any of the other branches. We really do look out for each other. And that's why most of my clients are Marines. And again, guys, I'm not here trying to get criminal defense cases or civil rights cases like Direct Meth is trying to tell you guys. I do this channel because I care about people and I want to make America a better place for y'all. And I'm sharing thousands and thousands of dollars and over 20 years worth of legal experience with you. And I became a lawyer on a very obscure program without any undergrad or law degree. I'm more like you than I'm like those guys that went to Harvard or Yale. My background is in construction. My dad was a builder. I worked every summer building homes, digging forms. I can put up sticks. I can dig the forms. I can put in the rebar. I can put in the concrete, all the pipes, everything. I can do it all with by myself. If you put me on a field with a bunch of Amish, I would fit right in building barns with them, and they would probably promote me relatively quickly. So I'm one of these guys who became a lawyer because I realized that I was getting screwed. And the only way that you can even get anything anymore in this world is if you're a lawyer. I mean, you don't get any respect, out in the real world, unless you're a lawyer. Landlords, business owners, they all treat you like trash unless they see you're a lawyer. And then all of a sudden they back off. So for me, it was like a survival thing. But when I'm out in public, I'm sleeved. I wear jeans and I go to the gym and I do judo. And I open carry pretty much everywhere I go. You'd never think that I was a lawyer. I'd love to show you my arsenal sometime. Trust me, I'm more like you guys than you could ever imagine. And anyways, yeah, and I teach a self-defense class for female assault victims, and I do close quarter battle, and that's what I'm all about. But being a lawyer it's been a gift and a blessing, and so it's given me an opportunity to share a little bit about what I like as a hobby, which is government accountability. Oh, you better believe it, Black Man 903. I got the glow in the dark. I haven't got the glow in the dark eyes on this one. Hold on, let me see. If I go into a black light room, like the black lights, these lights light up. Yeah, man, I'm covered. My whole body pretty much. Yes. I'm not the typical lawyer you're ever going to meet. That's for sure. But yeah, let me get into this. Let me get into this video. Let me give my other buddy some love, and then I'll talk to BZ later about getting into. I'll talk to BZ later about doing some more about Carolina's case and trying to get the governor involved. Maybe we can try to get some kind of clemency. So we're not done yet, guys. Well, let's keep going because we don't stop.
I'm going to ask you to have them leave. I filed a police report with the Liberties County Sheriff, which is the jurisdiction here. They need to leave. I'm asking you for your help. You're the police. No, that's not accurate.
You guys have a civil issue going on. I don't know too much about that. I know you talked to my chief yesterday.
Have them leave. I'll take the polls down.
That's something you guys can work out together. I'm not going to sit here and get in between it.
You're not going to sit here and let me protect my own personal property?
On July 24th, 2024, in Howell, Michigan, Aaron Curry faced a prolonged legal dispute over property ownership, leading to tensions with the Howell City Police Department. For more details, check the links in the description. If you agree that the police's actions were wrong, leave a number 5 in the comments.
Hello? How are you? Okay. My property goes from that corner to that corner. There is no right of way. You're following them to trespass. I'd let them to leave my property.
I'm just doing as I'm told. I'm here by my chief of police.
I understand. I talked to him yesterday. I told him there's no right of way.
He's the one
They need to leave.
He's the one I'm going to direct you to speak to.
They need to leave now. They need to leave now, ma'am. Ma'am, it's my private property.
But right there, I know you have a thing.
And he's right. If she is on his property, unless there's some kind of a police emergency or an exception under the tort law system, like necessity, private or public necessity, she has no legal basis to be there. So this would be an example of exceeding the authority that is vested in her. And in my opinion, she's probably violating her oath of office. Let's keep going.
Going on with the city and
I have nothing going on. That gate isn't blocked. It's unlocked. Why are they on my property, taking my personal property?
I'm not gonna.
What's your name and badge number, please?
Sergeant Briggs, my badge number is 12.
Thank you. I'm not going to ask you to have them leave.
No,
I filed a police report with the Liberties County Sheriff, which is the jurisdiction here. They need to leave. I'm asking you for your help. You're the
Now BZ saying, what about an easement? Well, sure, the police could have some kind of an easement. There could be a public easement, but based on, again, assuming arguendo, there is no easement, she has no legal authority to be there, in my opinion.
the police.
Here to keep the peace.
No, that's
You guys-
not accurate.
You guys have a civil issue going on.
I don't
know
have a
too
civil
much
issue.
about that. I know you talked to my chief yesterday.
Have them leave. I'll take the poles down.
That's something you guys can work out together. I'm not going to sit here and get in between it.
You're not going to sit here and let me protect my own personal property? You're the city of Howell Police. You're a sergeant.
I'm not going to go back and forth with you.
Fine, then call the Liberties County Sheriff, who has jurisdiction
Call the sheriff.
in Marion Township.
You can call the
I've
sheriff.
called them, and they said it's a civil dispute. And like these guys are coming out to pull down my and I've told you not to trespass on my property. You need to leave. Do you understand? I'm on my property.
Can you stop yelling?
No, they need to leave.
Please. I get that you're upset. I understand. Please.
I think, we're going to just leave. We're not going to deal with this.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I asked for yesterday.
It's not over, obviously.
I understand
You are
that.
working with the city. You can continue to work with the city.
Thank you.
We'll just leave.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
I'm
I
not trying to
apologize.
get off on bad blood or anything like here.
But this is bad blood. This is bullying. This is the city trying to take advantage of a system. I don't know who they're in bed with the Motorsports Gateway, with the dicks out here from Novi, but this is garbage. I've taken them the information.
You're okay. You're okay.
But they bully us. They clearly bully us.
Again,
it's corrupt.
Thank you for keeping your calm and your cool, and I'm not. I understand
I
that.
understand that you're.
Don't let them.
I understand that you're frustrated. I get it, and I get there's a whole thing going on. I don't know much about it. Okay.
Right. They can't. They don't have
And it's,
paperwork
you're
to do,
just
they need
a
to
public
quit
servant.
touching
Thank you
stuff.
for your
So,
service, and I apologize.
So I hope your day goes a little bit better than it is right now. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
The city allegedly drove onto his property and placed signs on his driveway or on the property itself, further increasing Aaron's frustration with what he viewed as irresponsible management. Despite seeking a legal resolution, Aaron ran into difficulties when the police chief ordered officers to survey his property and escort city workers around the area. To protect his interests, Aaron decided to record any subsequent encounters with the police, revealing more details about the violation of property rights and improper management by local authorities. Leave a number 5 in the comments if you believe the police chief needs to be fired. The Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1791, protects privacy and prevents government overreach by prohibiting unreasonable searches and seizures. This amendment requires law enforcement to have a clear legal basis, often a warrant, before accessing private property, reflecting the Founding Fathers' concern about tyranny. This amendment ensures individuals maintain control over their homes and personal belongings, preventing excessive government interference. In the digital age, the Fourth Amendment remains crucial in balancing personal privacy with law enforcement needs. safeguarding the rule of law and civil liberties. Police are not permitted to enter private property without a warrant or lawful consent. Even with a warrant, certain prerequisites must be met. The Fourth Amendment affirms that privacy and personal freedom are core values that must be strongly protected.
Hey, sir. Good, how are you?
So just real quick, let's just get into that really quick. So yeah, so there's private property. The police are coming onto his property. It looks like the city workers, they're doing work there. So BZ may be right. There may be some kind of an easement, but it looks like there's some kind of a dispute between him and the sheriff or the chief of police. And that's a problem that we see often in these smaller communities. And unless you're really like a gung-ho dude and you know the law and you mean to keep it well, you're going to get railroaded every single time. So that's something you need to be looking out for. And that's one of the reasons why I like having my channel and having guys like you on here, because there's strength in numbers. And so like you see going on, like with Myers, he's got people showing up. They're making it makes a statement. Trust me, especially when you have judges and you have police who are elected officials and they see all the people that might be voting for them showing up. It's a game changer, guys. And that's why I don't care who you are. If you support government accountability operations, being part of a team MPE or a team DLZ like Chile, where you're able to form a network of people who support the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, you can rally around each other and you can make a huge difference. And that's something that I would like all of you guys to do instead of all this bickering and infighting, trying to cast aspersions upon each other. It just doesn't, it doesn't do anything for our cause of making America a better place. It just doesn't. Too many egos, man. You know what I'm talking about, Wolverine Transparency. Love having you here too, brother. You come on a couple more times and I'll make you a mod, dude. I can't just make you a mod right away because it wouldn't be fair to all these other people that had to wait weeks or months. It's, my channel is more like a motorcycle club. You got to earn your rocker. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen you around and I know you're a legit dude. And yeah, right on, dude. I love what you got to say, man. I would love to be able to. I would love it if we could all get along and find a way to start deleting laws instead of electing people that pass more laws. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys think we should elect politicians based upon how many laws they delete as opposed to how many laws that they pass. That's what I'm all about. Making America better. Homeschooling your kids, getting them out of this brainwashing system where they teach kids to hate our founding fathers. I mean, man, the whole principle of natural law is beautiful, that your rights come from a creator, not from the state. I mean, that's some serious, powerful stuff, guys. Think about that, how powerful that is, that your rights come from the universe, not from some politician scumbag. It's just off the charts to me. Like, people don't give it the credence that it deserves. All right, let's get into the next video.
How are you? Good. I'm Mike Curry. Nice to meet you. I'm a CPL holder, so I know.
Carrying in my building?
I'm not. I'm redneck, but I'm not that redneck.
What's up?
So, here's a copy of Liberties County Sheriff's.
Don't need it.
Okay. I filed a police report last week.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a copy of my public records data. I'm in Marion Township.
Yep.
Okay. The city police were on my property this morning, pulling out stakes that my legal counsel had asked me to install.
Okay. You have been informed, as has your legal counsel been informed.
Not this legal counsel.
Who's your legal counsel?
They're out of West Blooming.
Okay, well.
They're going to be in contact.
Okay, Brewer's been advised, so if he's not your counsel anymore, then you guys do whatever you got to do.
Yep.
You have an issue with the city. There's no issue with us. The police did not pull your stuff.
No,
Actually, the police.
Correct.
My approach.
And they trespassed 3 times.
And they were sitting on my property this weekend.
I was the one that was there.
Okay.
And they're not sitting on your property. They're trying to go do what they're supposed to do and go check Motorsports Gateway, which they do every day, and which they've been doing for the last time.
Motorsports Gateway property does not attach.
Hold on just a moment.
But the city's also.
Wait, every single day you've been back there for how long?
The city's been checking Motorsports Gateway daily for a long time.
Through that entrance?
I don't know if they go there or if they go off Lucy Road. There's 2 accesses.
Well, I can tell you they don't go through there because I have 2 cameras pointing directly.
I know, I see all your social media.
Okay. So
I see all your back to blue while they sit there in the parking lot and all
Yes.
your stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's absolutely true. My
It
grandfather
is.
was
So
a police
not-
officer for
please, I
65
understand
years.
that this is confrontation. We're not taking it.
My position while we were there
Okay.
was to be neutral.
Okay.
The city has easement access through that property. You can debate that with the city. The state's already confirmed it. Everybody else has already confirmed it.
Okay.
I'm not there to debate where your property line is. I'm
Okay.
not an engineer.
All right.
I was
Yeah.
a stupid Marine.
And
So,
it's right.
so,
Thank you for your service.
but, so I'm not there to debate that.
So that's a civil.
My job was to say,
That's a
if
civil.
you were there, my job was to say, you can't attack them and they can't attack you.
Okay.
So that's what we
Even though
were
it's
there.
the
So how
sheriff's
come you guys
jurisdiction.
didn't make contact with me?
I didn't need to. You're in Marion Township. I didn't need to. What they were doing was on city right away.
That is disputed.
Okay, and it is, but you're not gonna battle this out with me.
No,
I'm
trying to understand. I don't want to go to jail.
You
It's
have
a civil
Herb,
matter.
you have
We'll settle
Herb,
it
and you
that
have
way.
the city attorney that you deal with on this matter.
Yes.
Those are the two that you deal with.
Okay.
My purpose of having a car there was to make sure that you didn't run out and attack somebody, and that nobody ran, and that none of our guys
It's not gonna happen.
ran out and attacked you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We were neutral party. That is our job. That's the police's job. It's not to take sides. We're standing there and go, nobody.
Good. So if I continue to put it up every day,
It's
then
gonna-
you're not gonna arrest me.
You're probably, I know you already talked to Murph because you talked to him 5 minutes before I talked to him, and he told you.
Yep.
It's
But
a civil matter.
But then the city police showed up, which told me it's not a civil matter.
The city police didn't show up to take your stuff. The
Okay.
city police showed up to make sure our DPW workers didn't get attacked.
Okay.
When facing a situation where police appear on private property without a valid warrant or consent, it is important to remain calm and handle the matter seriously. Ask why they are there, as they may be executing an arrest warrant or dealing with an emergency. If you do not want them on your property,
Right, and that could form the basis of exigent circumstances. And so that's why I'm saying, like a public or private necessity, right? But in this case, it sounds like there's a dispute. He had a prior attorney, and now he's got a new one. Now, here's where I take exception to the way he's handling this. If he's got a lawyer, his lawyer should be going to the police department, not him. By him doing that, it takes away a lot of the power that he would have with representation. It also allows the officer to size him up and kind of like understand what his game plan is. It's never good. Like if you've got counsel, the best thing you can do is remain silent and let your lawyer do their job. And if your lawyer's not doing a good job, get rid of the lawyer. If you're capable of representing yourself, which very few people are, then do so. But I tell you, do it at your own risk, because most people that I know who represent themselves have a fool for a client, and that's a fact. There's very few people who can do a good job in pro per and survive and make it happen. So let me just look in the sidebar here. Oh yeah, Wolverine. Most of my mods don't really mod. I just give out wrenches to people that I like, so other mods know not to mess with them. Because trust me, I don't make people mods based upon their political views. I got lefties, righties, all in between. I make people mods if they believe in natural law and they support the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and they prove that they're loyal to natural law. That's the only reason I make them mods. I just can't give you a wrench right away, because if I did that, I would be disrespecting all my other mods. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you're a legit dude, and I like a lot of the things that you got to say. And you stand tall for things that I believe in. So, it's good stuff, man. Takes all kinds. Hey, Tiffany. Yeah, you never had to run your mouth. No, you've always been super cool on my channel. I just want to make sure, that people get protected with the wrench. I'm not expecting you to come on here and start busting people. Bootlicker doesn't need no stinking wrenches, he says. That's cool. Oh, crap. Yeah. I'd love to have you look. Guys, take a look at. I don't know a whole lot about Wolverine, but I like a lot of the stuff Wolverine says, and yeah, I'm impressed, man. we'll keep on. I got my eye on you, Wolverine, like that Sam Kinison, Rodney Dangerfield movie, Back to School. I got my eye on you. All right, so let's get into the next one. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. I'm trying to unwind. I've been up since 04. I've had a really rough day at work, and man, I'm really craving a drink, but I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? One of those kind of deals. So yeah, hopefully you guys know where I'm coming from. Let's get into the next one.
Clearly state that you do not consent to their presence by saying, "I do not consent to you being on my property. Please leave immediately." At the same time, if possible, record the encounter on video or note details such as badge numbers and any reasons given, as this can serve as crucial evidence if your rights are violated or the situation escalates. However, always prioritize safety and attempt to de-escalate tension in every circumstance. If the police insist on staying without legal justification, remain silent and do not cooperate unless there is an immediate threat to your life or a risk of arrest. Aaron Curry's steadfast response is a prime example, as he asserted his rights and compelled the police to leave his property, demonstrating the importance of understanding and defending one's rights in any situation.
Inside of City Hall without an appointment, so we requested to speak to somebody from City Clerk's office, who is right here. Hey sir, how are you?
Oh yeah, I love this guy.
So I filled out the records request.
Okay, so I asked the question.
About the budget, right?
Yeah, they do have it online. The latest one is 2024.
Okay.
So you can have it online. They don't put, because they have it online.
You're right. What's the matter, you?
Because you have it online, they don't provide what?
They don't provide
a physical copy
anymore. If you want a printed copy, it's 637 pages, and you have to pay for it.
And I would have to pay for it, but it's online.
It's available online.
Okay, and just my FOIA request, my public records request here is for first, last name, titles, and salaries. Is all.
So I think this is Long Island Audits. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like his auditing style because he comes off as very kind and gentle, and it's very disarming. So it makes it much more difficult for the police to make an arrest. And it would, a jury would be like, how am I going to convict this guy? He didn't do anything wrong. See, it's based on your demeanor. Like I teach my students, if you have to draw down when you're in a CQB situation, you don't want to say like, put your effing hands up, drop the effing gun. You never want to swear, because a jury will automatically, if they hear swear words, assume that you're the aggressor. You have to understand human psychology. Cussing and swearing makes most people, especially ladies, think that you're an aggressor. And if you can control that part of your personality, you'll be a much more powerful advocate. I'm just telling you, you can do whatever the hell you want, but I'm trying to just part off my advice. When I see someone who's gifted and talented and they're making mistakes, it says in the Bible that I'm supposed to try and correct them. And if they're worthy of being corrected, then they're biblically correct as well, because you're supposed to take that correction from a brother and understand that it's not being done to insult you. Let's keep going.
All city workers for the year 2024. I assume that would be to HR.
No, so you have everything on here.
Yeah.
Let me get a copy of this for
And
you.
give it back to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, I'm just documenting my experience, sir. I understand that. I'm just documenting my experience here.
That's true.
Hey,
He's
how are
been
you?
arrested a lot, but
So with the security officer,
Letso TVO points out he's been arrested 17 plus times. Just think he probably would have been arrested 100 times if he wasn't nice.
so here was trying to show me is no audio or video recording without express permission from who? I don't know. Who would you need permission to exercise your constitutional rights? Hey, how are you? Excuse me? I'm Sean, yeah.
How you doing, man? So I did hear you were going to come. I had talked to Aopri.
Tuapri.
There's so many to remember, so.
Are you stationed here, officer? Can I just get your name and badge number? You caught me at a disadvantage. You know who I am.
It's a mutual thing. It's nothing against you or anybody.
Right.
Like I said, I'm just following protocol and what they have implemented here. So I am really really trying to work with you guys.
Right.
I am doing my research. I am talking to different people to try to see if we can come up
Wolverine, you're killing me, man.
I don't want anything.
Sound like my dad.
Right, me either, sir. No, me either, sir. Thank you so much.
Through the email that you have.
Through email. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
On June 30th, 2024, in West Palm Beach, Florida, Sean Paul Reyes encountered interference
Sean
while
Paul
filming at
Reyes.
City Hall.
Do
Although
agree.
his right to do so is protected by the First Amendment, he received warnings from staff who relied on a sign that contradicted the Constitution. Officer
Hey, was that dude throwing gang signs? Like, what's all that? Is he throwing gang signs, guys? What's going on over here?
Santana initially appeared cooperative, but later invoked unfounded regulations, prompting objections from Sean.
What I was explaining that we were trying to come up to is because my understanding at the beginning was like, okay, nobody can come here and record.
That's fair,
Went a
Wolverine.
little bit deeper as I read more of the policy that they have implemented.
Right, the policy that the city
So what I
implemented.
hear is about not necessarily it's the building. What I heard was that, and what it reads, not what I hear. So
Okay.
what I read,
Yeah.
I can show you.
Uh-huh.
Is the actual people.
Okay.
So if there's one person that doesn't give consent to be recorded, they don't want to be recorded, at that point the recording should stop. It's not that you cannot sit here and record the inside of the first floor. Again,
What law is
for
that?
security reasons, I cannot just say, hey, listen, man, just go and walk to the second, third, fourth floor. Unless you're being escorted, unless you have some type of appointment or somebody that's appointed to be with you and actually give you a tour of it.
Right.
So if he was wearing a concealed camera, nobody knew he had a camera, do you think this conversation would be happening? Give me a bunch of ones if you think this officer would even be talking to him right now if he had a concealed camera. Give me a bunch of twos if you think he would be.
No issue with that.
Yeah.
So
Are you offering to give me a tour?
Not me. That's no. Listen. And if it was up to me, it's you're not taking anything away. Not taking anything away from me. It's just that I don't have that capability to actually go ahead and spend the whole day just giving you a tour, and I don't have permission right now.
Right.
So I think that if you do make an appointment with somebody, they probably will give you a tour. The library also, I talked to the director of the library, who is willing to give anybody a tour. It's just that they need to know what time will be best for both. For you and
In the policy, in the policy you're referring to, officer, is there what's the reason for the no cameras?
So they have considered this a limited public forum.
Okay.
So based on that, the I guess the mayor and they implemented this is pretty much like his house, his office. So
Right.
he has put
Well, to be respectfully, sir, just to clear, it's the people's house. It's the people's house.
Right.
He doesn't pay to be here. Yeah.
Love that.
Any person, or like it could just be a member of the public, a public worker, a public servant.
Anybody who doesn't feel comfortable, like right now, I'm over here. If he says he don't feel comfortable,
You don't feel, but why don't you feel comfortable about the camera? But there's a camera right there. I'm just pointing out that there's cameras everywhere we go, sir.
There's cameras everywhere, man.
I mean, there's cameras everywhere. There's one right above your head.
God. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why, like I said, you could see as soon as somebody feels kind of like not comfortable with it, at that
But
point,
officer, don't you think that kind of like, what if somebody says, what if there was a policy that says, I don't feel comfortable around people of color, right? And then the minute that you walk in the building and you say, hey, I don't feel comfortable because this guy, his skin is a little bit different than mine.
basically just follow.
I know, I understand what you're saying, but I kind of don't.
It right here says, so pretty much except within the city commission chambers, conference rooms, and other locations. So you are able to record when they have in commission. Anybody else who feels that way, that's going to become a disruption.
But don't you think we're going down like a slippery slope of if any single person inside of City Hall can say, hey, I feel uncomfortable, that's considered a disruption? It's kind of like it's
Black Man 903.
It's like, hey, I feel uncomfortable.
I don't put the
I know you don't.
do it. If I did it,
it
would be.
I know you don't. But you enforce it. I know, but you enforce it.
Now, in reference to a library, the library is also considered a limited public
forum. Right.
Now,
which means that they can make reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. Reasonable. Keyword.
If for some reason people feel the same way as a city hall of like you don't have consent from them, then it should stop. Now, like I said to you before, pretty much the director is facilitating. If you want to make an appointment to have a tour, they will give you the tour. They have no. You could record as much as you want if you want the tour.
Right.
I really like him, man.
Again, they also have under the rules There's one right here. Recording video and or sound in the library is prohibited unless permission has previously been granted.
Well, Wolverine, look, man, I'm not going to judge him. I think Sean does a great job trying to imitate Tua Pre. Give me a bunch of ones if you think Sean Reyes does a good job trying to imitate Tua Pre. I like to see a bunch of ones. Sean Reyes, you do such a good job imitating Tua Pre. You're my favorite comedian. What do you think, Wolverine? You.
All visitors to the library are subjected to the provision of the policy 141, access to city-owned, control, and use property policy regarding protecting the health, safety, and welfare of city employees who visit the facility. Again, even if she, not her.
I love you guys, man. I have such a great time doing these shows.
Even if they went on the policy 1-41,
Taxpayer funded, yeah.
they still have their own rules.
Right.
Okay, which I'm showing you right here. They have over 50 different rules. I mean, that's one of their rules. So let's say one of the.
I know, dude. I'm just having a good time, brother.
You reporting them? At that point, the police will definitely get involved because they're going to cover it.
Of course, yeah. But
So I am
it's kind of, you know, in our country, right? It's kind of sad to me that people would call law enforcement over feeling uncomfortable.
It's crazy.
They're not feelings enforcement.
Crazy.
Trying to work so hard.
I can see that.
It's getting old.
Right.
It's getting old. It's the same stuff. Tomorrow might be somebody else.
Right.
To a point like this.
Right. Yeah, I traveled all the way over here. Yes, from New York.
Right, let's go
from Long Island, New York, to come over here because I believe in transparency in our government. I'm not. If you know any, I don't know if you know about me, but if you know anything about me in particular, I don't escalate a situation. I work with police departments across this country. You know, I've done training. You know, I don't. Yeah, I don't escalate. I don't disrespect anybody. There's no people of color allowed in this building. Would you just say, "Oh, I'm following the rule," and it was written down on a fancy piece of paper like this, printed off?
This is more of. This is completely different. That's you flipping it real.
I'm just saying. I mean, it could go down that way eventually. Who knows? It's little by little.
I'll wait until if that ever happens.
I'd hope you go against that one. I mean, I'd hope you go against this. I mean, I never thought that just peacefully recording my and documenting my experience with government officials. I'm a taxpayer, right?
Yeah.
You know, even if I don't pay taxes here in West Palm Beach, so West Palm Beach gets paid a lot of money in federal taxes. That's why I requested the budget. They get a lot of federal tax dollars. I pay a lot of federal taxes, as do you, as do everybody. So we have a right to know transparency. I know. Everybody pays their taxes.
Everybody always throw that at us, like the police, like I pay your taxes.
Yeah.
What do you think? We don't pay taxes? Like,
no.
We pay
right.
Yeah, no, of course.
Right.
Everybody pays taxes. And I think at the very bare minimum.
Check it out. You know, you're right. So Sean's over here talking to this dude, and this dude's like, you know, I'm just going to do whatever the government tells me because, you know, they're paying me. And he's sitting there recording. This cop's got a freaking body cam on him. He's recording. There's cameras all over the whole place, but they're freaking out because a member of the public, of the sovereign public, is engaging in a First Amendment protected activity. And again, it's actually protected by natural law. It's recognized by the First Amendment. Our rights come from our Creator, not the Bill of Rights. Okay. So you need to understand that. But he's literally just engaging in an activity recognized by the Bill of Rights and bound by the chains of the Constitution, but to this guy with the camera who's filming Sean, who's trying to mimic, I guess Sean's trying to imitate Tua Pre, right? He's pretty good at it. But the bottom line is one of the primary points of the First Amendment was to recognize the public's ability to hold the government accountable and get in their face. Look, our founding fathers fought a revolution over the king trying to seize our powder houses. That's not even taught in the schools anymore. The powder houses, AKA gunpowder. The king tried to seize our guns, and that's what started the Revolutionary War. And they wanted to make sure that after the First Amendment, getting in their face and holding them accountable, came the Second. And our founders would tar and feather guys like this. They would literally put them in hot tar and cover them with chicken's feathers for doing the stuff that this guy's doing. So in effect, they were putting those amendments on paper to protect people like this, to protect this guy, right? They're letting him know, hey, look, we have a right to do this, and we're letting you know in advance. Otherwise, you might be bringing some severe harm to yourself. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree with that sentiment.
Officer is that you should at least have, you're going to take my money without asking, right? They take your money, my money without asking, right out of our checks. and you could just provide a little bit of transparency, a little bit of being cordial about what's going on here, you know?
And like I tell you, listen, like right now, you're recording me, you're on this side, you're not actually recording people that they're going to get bothered or going to cause a disruption.
Yeah. But I can't cause the disruption. How is somebody else's feelings my problem?
So let's say, for example, I'm
Right.
not going to comments.
Okay.
For example, you have security. So now if security doesn't want you to record them, now you cause
Oh, that's a good one,
disruption,
Top.
kind of
I like that
stopping
one.
the job that they're doing. So let's say they have to take care of people, and at the same time you're recording. Now you're kind of like in the middle, disrupting. It's like us doing an investigation, and if you not from the outside, you can record all day from the outside, but now you're coming into our investigation. Now you kind of like impediment the work that we're trying to do. So,
but how? I'm trying to see your side of it. I really don't see the side of me just standing here causing any sort of disruption.
And when I came in, I didn't even know.
And that's why
they're so quiet. Usually they're chanting and stuff. So like I
yeah,
said,
no.
You're very peaceful, and I appreciate that from you. You're not aggressive like other ones that we have encountered.
Well, hold on. I got some questions here. I got to hit them real quick. Okay. What do I think of weed? I think, Biastero, what do I think of weed? I think it's a million times better than alcohol. And it should be legal in every state. And I think indica is probably better than sativa. And I'm not going to tell you why I think that. I'll let you figure it out for yourself. But if you're having a hard time sleeping, should be no issues. Now, Wolverine points something out. So a lot of you guys may not know this, but I work with Alan Beck at my firm, and Alan's argued multiple Second Amendment rights cases before the Ninth Circuit. And one of my dear friends is Dick Heller versus District of Columbia. I go to the SHOT Show with him and hung out with him last year at the Leathernecks Marine Bar, the historical bar museum. And he's a really good guy, and he's getting old, but what Wolverine is saying is right up my alley. I've caught protesting Second Amendment people in the so-called community protesting Second Amendment and coming up on panels telling on themselves actually that they're actually against the Second Amendment. Look, so number one, I just want you guys to know the Second Amendment doesn't give you the right to keep and bear arms. It recognizes a pre-existing natural right of all men to be armed. It's a pre-existing natural right granted to you by your creator to keep and bear arms. It has nothing to do with a piece of paper or parchment, number one. And number two, if you truly support the concept of freedom and individual rights, you will not only want people to be armed, you'll demand that they'll be armed. Under common law in England, all free men were armed. To carry a sword or to carry a gun is a sign of that you're free. It's a symbol of freedom. It means I'm a freeman. Freeman. It's actually a term called freeman. And it means that you're actually a freeman. Man, you're a freeman when you're armed. A free man ought always be armed. I mean, how do you expect to defend your wife and children if you're not? So I'm with you, Wolverine. I don't get it. It really bothers me big time. The stuff that's going on out there, rights being converted into privileges. It really bothers me. Look, I'm not out to harm anybody, but I definitely will do harm to someone that messes with my family, and obviously the last resort is always your weapon. You want to be well-trained in martial arts and self-defense and de-escalation. You want to be courteous, considerate, and kind to other people and respect life. But absolutely, you ought to be armed, and you ought to be well-regulated, which means well-trained. And you ought to understand that as a free American. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree with what I'm saying. I think Team MPE understands where I'm coming from. I'm not some crazy person who's saying, hey, you need to carry your AR and your open carry in public to prove something with your fishing pole or any of that. But I support your right to do that. Yeah, I'm the lawyer who's going to help you. But I'm all about the Second Amendment and all that stuff, guys. And you don't really make a whole lot of money as a lawyer doing that. But Alan Beck works with my firm, and I'll have him on one of my panels again soon. He's a Marine as well. You'll see a theme about me. I don't trust many, but I trust Marines more because of the code that we live by, the brotherhood. We realize we all got screwed by the big green weenie, but we've got that training spirit and discipline and the do or die mentality that most people don't have. And so we've taken that with us, and that's what we do now. We all support each other, and you got some of that with me, guys. That's why I do these shows sometimes 2 and 3 hours, and sometimes I get a super chat. But let's keep going.
Right. That's unfortunate. You know, I think everybody should be treated with respect. Law enforcement should treat us with respect. Public servants should treat us with respect. And you know, it's mutual. You know, we're all Americans. We you know, we all pay taxes. So, you know, unfortunately, this is a great conversation we're having, and I appreciate it.
I'm not lying to you. I'm not trying to make this up.
You're right,
I am
Tiffany.
really trying to work into something. I have a couple of meetings already. I am trying to work.
How would I go ahead and make an appointment? I want to see. I want to see when does the mayor when is the next public meeting?
Okay.
And then I want to see how do I go about making a appointment to speak with the mayor, because obviously, regardless of the no recording signs, you can't get in this building without an appointment. I see that.
The next meeting will be on
Monday.
Yes, every other Monday. So that's
There's every other Monday?
That should be the next public meeting. Should be Monday.
Every other Monday. Gotcha. And
not this Monday. We have no meetings this week. Next Monday we should be having one.
Okay.
Kinetic asked, why couldn't we apply the Bruin decision to the First Amendment? I don't see why not. I mean, I think that the Bruin decision, basically Bruin is talking about looking at the history and the totality of the circumstances of a law that restricts guns, and as opposed to, you know, for example, if you were to say, well, they only had a pen and quill back at the time of the founding of the country, that therefore typewriters should be illegal, right? That's kind of what the left Marxists are trying to do. The public school administrative state types are trying to do with the Second Amendment. And now you have like cases coming out like Duncan and Bruin that are saying, no, it's based upon the hermeneutic, Google it sometime. The basically the totality of the traditions and the circumstances. You know, if it was a musket then, it would be an AR-15 today. It doesn't matter. Same kind of thing. If it was a quill then, it would be a typewriter today. It doesn't matter. It's the intent of being able to defend yourself against all enemies, foreign and domestic. In the First Amendment was to large degree about defending yourself against a totalitarian state, a totalitarian government, to prevent that from happening, with being able to hold the government accountable. So disgusting fat bodies like this walking in here living off a government pension can't get away with the stuff that they've been getting away with.
Yeah, right. There was Memorial Day. Right.
So that's how it works.
All right. And the only way to fix this, the same way that you said you're enforcing the policy here and the orders from the mayor and everything like that, you know, the only way for me to try and combat it, other than there's nothing I can do, right? I'm not going to just go in and start recording. I'm not going to do that. But you know, I am recording inside of the city-owned facility now. And in order to try and rectify that in a court system to see who's right and who's wrong, you know, I have a difference of opinion from the mayor. I believe that we should have transparency and accountability inside of our government as the taxpayers. Hey, how are you? And, you know, at the end of the day, I need what's called standing in court in order to file that federal lawsuit against the city of West Palm Beach that my rights have been violated, right? That's for a court to determine, and that's great, but I need standing in court in order to do that. For example, you know, I'm from Long Island. I filed a federal lawsuit against the NYPD. They wouldn't allow recording inside of the precincts. NYPD, as you know, is the largest police department. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, just quickly. Yeah, just quick. Yeah. Just quickly. Well, the only thing, officer, I can't. I know you have to go. I can't leave unless you tell me that I'm trespassing from here, and then I will leave. I can't leave.
Like I'm not what you're looking for.
Because listen, like
hold on really quick. So Angry Vet brings up something which I don't know why he's trying to start shit with me, but I'll just explain this to you like I explain it to everyone else. When someone hires me as their lawyer, they tell me what their goal is. They want to win their case, right? They decide the overall strategy, and I decide the tactics. So just like if you hired me as the president and I'm a Marine general and you say, I want you to go and lead those men, I'm not going to have the president now come and direct my tactics. So Angry Vet, I don't know what you're trying to get out of this. So you didn't hear it right. I run the show. That's right. You commission me to win a battle, and then you let me win the battle. And that's what I do as a lawyer. So when I have half-cocked clients who want to try and instruct me how to litigate the case, tell me what to do and when to do it, I'm not going to work for them. I'm going to resign I'm going to resign my commission because they're not allowing me to do what I was trained to do, which is win battles. And that's what I do. My job is to win battles. So you might want to put on a different set of ears, brother. If you're a veteran, you should understand a little bit about leadership and battle. And you better damn well believe it. If some client tries to tell me what I have to do, no. Yeah, and if you want to get a copy of my book and support the channel, go for it. It's $20. So I'm not really sure where this dude's coming from. Lead everyone to a PayPal account going straight to your pocket. Yeah, right. And actually, I got my law degree after I was a practicing attorney, and it's cost me about $100,000. But anyways, guys, you know what to do with the Angry Vet. This is somebody who clearly has too much time on his hands. I don't know what happened to him. But yeah, they just like drama. You're right, Wolverine. Drama queens. All right. Well, let's get back into it. Let's have some fun.
Like I said, it's not for damages. It's not for any type of. I'm trying to change the policy.
Pretty much, like I said, as long as nobody's feeling they don't give you consent to film.
Right.
Because it's like I said, I read it with you. It's
right.
Not the building itself, it's the people.
Okay.
So if somebody feels uncomfortable that you're recording, then that becomes a problem. That point, yes, that point, there will be warrant to trespass.
A warrant to trespass, right? And that's but that's what I need in order to. I can't just give up my rights willingly. You know, like I said, I filed a lawsuit against the NYPD, and we got an injunction to where, you know, I can record inside the NYPD precincts because it was unreasonable.
Again, no, we're gonna go. There's actually, I think one of your buddies is over.
Who are you, sir?
Sean.
Who are you?
John Reyes.
Yes, sir. Who are you?
See the sign up there?
That's to a pre.
I just want to know who you are, sir. I can't find out who you are as a public servant. You know who I am.
Yes, sir.
So can I just know who you are as a public servant? You work in the mayor's office? So why can't I have a conversation? How do I make an appointment with the mayor to speak to the mayor? No, he didn't.
So at this point, there's no disruption. There's a disturbance. I will gladly ask you to. Your second partner is over there on the library.
I don't have partner. I work alone.
So you will have to leave, or you will be trespassed.
Okay.
Okay, right. There you go.
I just want to try and get his name. I'm leaving. Why are you all so scared of cameras? Well, there you go. You just gave me my standing in court, and we'll take it there. Absolutely ridiculous.
Again, you can stand out here.
Ridiculous. I'm not going inside. I'm not inside. No. There's nobody.
If you want to stay on the side,
I'm on the side, sir. No, it's ridiculous. Listen, you've been fair with me, but it's ridiculous the way I'm treated. He wouldn't even identify himself.
That's doing the same thing. So.
There you go.
You want to get an interview with him? Why not? Why you for the camera?
Absolutely ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're gonna have to make a trip back.
Yep, there you go. So we'll get back into the conversation here. So yeah, I see that. Look, I always thought that Angry Vet and I were buddies, but I don't know, something happened to him. But no, I'm with you, Wolverine. Look, I'm with you. You know, I had lawyers that I had hired, and I was like, these guys suck. And that's why I became a lawyer. And that's why I tell you guys, if you want to do it, you can do it. And I'll tell you in my book for $20 that really doesn't go into my pocket. It really goes into my wife and kids' pocket. But yeah, I wrote a book about how I became a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad for that very reason. Because I'll be honest, man, I would say 99% of the lawyers that ever represented me were just terrible. And all they cared about was money. And they knew less about the law than I did. But yeah, if you're going to hire me to be your lawyer, it's kind of a partnership, but I'm the leader. I'm the general, and you can be the lance corporal. But, you know, as soon as a client starts trying to direct my case, because it's my case at that point, then I'll resign. I'm not going to allow that to happen, because people who have an emotional investment in their case will lose every time. You need to have objectivity, and that's what I'll bring. But I also bring competence. And even though I'm a great lawyer, when I have a lawsuit that I bring, I'll bring in co-counsel, right? I'll bring in co-counsel because they're already a competently trained attorney. And I'll bring in someone who's better than me. Like I'll hire Alan Beck to do my Second Amendment cases. but I'll be like I'll get pro hocked in if it's in another state. But yeah, look, I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from. You want no man is going to speak for me. And I respect that. But it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare you're going to find somebody that has that capability. It just is. But yeah, I got you. But yeah, no need for all the personal attacks there, Angry Vet. I'm not really sure what happened to that dude. I thought he was a vet and stuff, and but I don't get it. I don't honestly. One of the things I don't understand is, if somebody takes 2 years to write a book about a really obscure program that could be helpful and be inspiring, why wouldn't you want to sell that? And why is that a problem? I never could understand that. It sounds like somebody's spending too much time over at Dickbag Patrol. I mean, of course you're going to want to try and help other people and also be able to support your family. I mean, I almost feel like when I hear these comments, like these people are a bunch of Marxist communists because they think that you should work for free for them, but they should be able to get everything for free. And it's just, that's not how it works. If you earn something, you earn your keep, and other people will help each other. So anyways, guys, I've been on the show now for like 2 hours and 25 minutes and I am exhausted. And yeah, no, I'm with you, brother. And Wolverine's cool, man. I'm with you, Wolverine. And I don't have I like it when people speak their mind, just like insults and personal attacks, especially from guys like Direct Meth who don't even know who I am or know nothing about me. That people like that really bother me, especially when they don't have the balls to say it to my face. And so that's a problem. And when I say face, I mean face to face physically, right? So other than that, guys, I think that we need to make sure that we support Carolina and in any way that we can. And BZ Watchdog and I will probably work on some kind of a letter to the governor of Texas and see if there's a way we can get her sentence commuted quickly, or at least try to do some kind of a petition to try to, in a respectful way, get her sentence commuted or overturned. I think it's really terrible what happened. Hey, that's cool, brother. Yeah. So Wolverine says you got a paralegal degree in Jackson Prison. Right on, dude. Registered Democrat. And yeah. Well, that's cool. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I'm a libertarian. I believe in less government, and that less government is more freedom. And my biggest concern is that we all support the Bill of Rights and the fundamental concept that our rights come from a creator, not from the government. And if you read John Locke or Blackstone's commentaries on the English law, I think you get a lot of inspiration from that in my book as well, because I show you that you can just be a construction worker, a disabled Marine, and you can still find a way with intestinal fortitude and hard work to become, I slept on park benches, and I'm just telling you guys, you can do it, and you should be rewarded for your hard work as well. You shouldn't just have to give it away for free. So if you guys have self-defense equipment, or you have a book that I want to buy, I'm going to buy it from you to support you, because I want to support you. If you have a business and you want support, reach out to me. I believe in forming parallel systems. So if you have a product or a business or a service that you have, at no charge, I'll list it for you on my parallel systems page over at the michaeleline.com website. And again, Mias Tarot, I am looking for some help with that. If you know WordPress, I'm using Contact Form 7 and it's just spamming the hell out of me. So I disabled that plugin. But, if you have some ideas to get that back on so I can get people to be able to contact me with their business info, that would be terrific. And you guys know how to get a hold of me, circleoflegaltrust@yahoo.com. A lot of the stuff is going to my spam folder, so I'm doing my best to find all the emails that y'all are sending me. Wolverine's transparency, same goes with you, brother. If you got a product or a service that you want me to advertise for you, by the way, I'm also going to add Lane Meyer's donations link to the Parallel Systems directory. I really want you guys to consider always looking at guys like Lane and Chili as well, who are willing to work outside the system to fight for the fundamental freedoms that our founding fathers wanted. Even if he comes off differently than you want, he's not a lawyer. But look at the results. And so if you have a business, like I said, or a service, I'll add that into my parallel systems directory and do my best to support you. I'm going to become a reseller of Brett Pike's Classical Learners homeschooling program as well. And I'm going to be offering a discount to my Team MPE members. So you can homeschool your kids and they can be brought up in a way where they learn the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, learn how to start a small business, learn about farming, learn about homesteading, learn about doing wills and trusts. And Tiffany, I'm also going to thank you, Tiffany. I'm going to also consider starting to offer like wills and trust packages to my members at a discounted rate to help you guys do your long-term wills and trusts so your assets can pass on in perpetuity, so you don't have the tax liabilities. So you basically get all the protections that all the billionaires get, but at a poor man's price. And yes, and always, yeah, so here's another good one. Kinetics Custom says, show your kids how to operate and be responsible with guns. Well, both my kids could tear down a 1911, clean it, and reassemble it by the time they were 6. And they know all about safety, and they know the difference between a striker. They know about Israeli draw. They know when dad's not home that their job is to protect their mother. And they're legit kids. And I agree with you, Kinetic Customs. All of our kids should learn about self-defense and how to clean. And that's why I always say, like, judo is a good one for kids because it teaches you combatives, but also a system of honor and discipline and respect. And another good book that you guys, I doubt it's also free for those of you who think selling a book is somehow bad, but it's called Code of the Samurai. And it's an excellent book. And I recommend it because it teaches you the ancient code of the samurai. And it's really cool, just about discipline and honor. So anyways, beyond that, I see Wolverine says, I wouldn't worry about anybody in this community. They're just another bike riding, backpack wearing, gossiping little. Yeah, maybe that could be true, brother. But I just want to see the best in everyone and just let you guys know that I'll do my best to inspire you in any way that I can, within my means. And I'll try to share, my 20 plus years of legal knowledge as a lawyer. And before that, as a paralegal like you and as a law clerk, I also externed for the Court of Appeal. So I've got a lot of legal knowledge. And so, I don't think it's asking much if, to support my channel. If you guys want to pick up a copy of my ebook, because it helps me be able to justify, at least to my family, time that I could be working at my office. That's all, but you don't have to. But if you do, take a look at my ebook. It's $20 and it's my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad. And it's worth hundreds of dollars, and I'm only selling it for $20 and you get it on PayPal. But beyond that, I'll try to go live this weekend. I don't know about tomorrow night, but I'll try to go live this weekend with BZ and talk about some options here to try to help Carolina at least get you her prison commissary information so you guys can buy her stuff. Try to find out if there's visiting hours so people can constantly be visiting her so she doesn't feel so alone and sad. And just think about that, guys. Pray for her. She's got to be going through hell right now. Nobody deserves to be locked up. It's the worst thing you could ever do, you could ever imagine. It's just awful. And so make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. And they've already tried several times. We know that YouTube and Google don't support most of the things that I support. And so it's been a real blessing because we know the algorithm's working against me, guys, for sure. Nobody wants an educated attorney teaching you guys how to uphold and defend your rights against the state. And so at least these billionaires don't. They want stupid people who they can control. And I'm trying to teach you to opt out of their system and form parallel systems. I'm by no means a cult figure. I'm just a lawyer. I'm a pretty humble guy. I have very humble beginnings. You're talking to somebody who became a lawyer because I got beat up by a cop. And that's what inspired me. And I just ended up getting into personal injury law, and that's what I do for a living. I do car accidents and motorcycle accidents because the only lawyers who would let me work for them for free were personal injury attorneys. So I worked for 4 years basically for different personal injury attorneys, and I got really good at personal injury litigation. And so I just ended up falling into it, and that's what pays my bills. But my love is the Bill of Rights and natural law. And that's why after my friend Chili got locked up, I decided to keep doing the videos. I helped him run his channel until he got out, and people started hitting me up. Hey, when are you going live again? And I was like, oh, okay. Let me talk to my old lady. And ultimately that's what happened. I just kept going live, but I don't have a financial interest that would make me rich from YouTube. Okay. Just so you guys know that. Maybe you guys think $20 is a lot of money for a book that took me 2 years to write. But to me, it's worth thousands of dollars because I'm showing you the system that I use, the different states that offer similar programs. And I also offer my inspiration, which is something that I have. I do feel blessed by God that the Holy Spirit has blessed me with the gift that I'm able to inspire people. And I think that I want to inspire you because it's a gift that I have, and I'm not selfish. So yeah, I want to help you guys. Thank you, F. I appreciate that. Wolverine, yeah. Brother, I don't have your email, man. But you can just go to circleoflegaltrust@yahoo.com and let's talk. And if you're ever out in Nevada, dude, let's go put some rounds down range, man. I got a whole arsenal. I got, thousands of rounds. It's on me. I got a couple of Navy SEAL buddies that are retired that we can go shooting with. We can do shoot house or whatever and have some fun. Go to Leatherneck's bar. I'll have a near beer because Tiffany's not going to let me. And what's the matter? You certainly not going to let me have alcohol, which thank you guys for that because it's bad news. But yeah, man, I would love. You're right, brother. Thank you. What's the matter? You? I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me because you have no idea after losing my dad how I've been struggling. But yeah, thank you, Life Under the Microscope. Life Under always has been supporting me, and I really do appreciate that. And definitely Wolverine, we'll get together. And the whole point of my show and my channel is, guys, we're never going to agree on everything. And it's unfortunate that Angry Vet turned on me for whatever reason, but I always got along well with the guy. Maybe he's just misreading me, but yeah, if you're going to hire me as your lawyer, I'm running the show, period. And hire another lawyer because I know what the hell I'm doing. And you're hiring me because I'm better than you and I know what I'm doing. Now you can direct the strategy, what the goal is going to be, but you better damn well believe if you hire me that I'm going to be a field general. I'm actually going to be leading from the front. For Rommel ist vorn, or Rommel is the front. And that is me. I am the Erwin Rommel of law, and I will lead from the front. And that's just how it's going to be with me. And yeah, and if you're any good, if you can prove to me you know what you're talking about, maybe we can form some kind of a partnership. But other than that, I'm leading, baby. That's what it's all about. I'm the one who has to pay for the malpractice coverage. I'm the one who has the license on the line, not you. And if I lose your case after following your instructions, trust me, you're coming after me. That's just how it is, man. Yeah. But yeah, guys. So again, make sure to like and subscribe and make sure to press that save button because that really helps me a lot with the algorithm. And then listen to my shows. If you're a long haul trucker, a lot of my viewers are truckers. For whatever reason, truckers love me, man. And you can, I got 2 or 3 hours of cool stuff you can listen to. I've got a variety of different topics that I cover: constitutional law, Second Amendment, Bill of Rights, cop watching. I try to be a little diversified, but I love having you guys on my show, and I love doing the shows. And yeah, me too, country guy. I don't know what happened to him. Oh yeah, Michael. Yeah, dude, you have no idea, bro. Yeah, I'm a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy too. And like when you're rolling all the time and everybody around you is all tatted out, it just happens, So but yeah, you would never know. And that's the idea, right? That's why I always wear long sleeves and because I still have to go out in the world and put on a different show for people who don't like people like us. You still got to support your family, guys. You got to understand that. That's your first job as a man, is to support your wife and kids. So you don't want to you don't want to put a bunch of face tattoos and then, deprive yourself of the ability to earn a living for your fam. But Yeah, thanks, Jim. All you guys are awesome, man. I really do appreciate all you guys, and I appreciate you not judging me. I'm certainly not judging you. It says in the Bible, I think it's either Matthew or Mark, judge not the person, judge the doctrine that they live by. And I do believe there are two basic types of people in this world, those who want to be controlled and those who don't. So which one are you? I'm the one who doesn't want to be controlled, and I will teach you everything I know to make sure that you don't have to be controlled. And the way not to be controlled is to be in control of yourself and your own life. So again, with that being said, I'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Semper Fi, do or die.